Welcome to Omaha, a five-letter haven in the rocket ship world of college baseball. It spells out the goal for 300-plus teams around the country every year. And on this Friday in June, only 8 teams are left standing in their quest to win the Men's College World Series.
Never has the road to Omaha looked like this one.
Look out, Omaha, here comes Troy. Back-to-back jacks for the Rebels. Cue Country Roads.
Absolute chaos. But there's still something about this place that brings the man.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away.
Troy and West Virginia are brand new. Ole Miss, hoping to dig up some 2022 magic. Facing a North Carolina team that was back on its heels.
He's going back to Omaha!
We're not done yet, so we're looking to win this whole thing.
Oh my gosh, I'm actually here. And it's one of the craziest things and craziest feelings I've ever felt.
This is the pinnacle of college baseball.
The best 8 are here.
Now that the boys are here again. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town.
Welcome to the 2026 Men's College World Series.
Back in town. The boys are back in town.
You're watching the NCAA Men's College World Series presented by Capital One. Day one at this sports carnival in America's heartland, where 2 teams have reached the pinnacle for the first time in program history. Troy, a 3 seed in the regional, packed with plenty of talent, faces number 16 West Virginia on a great 4-year run that finally has reached Omaha. Headlines at the College World Series for the 2nd year in a row. We told you, no repeat teams from last year to this year. There's a record 5 SEC teams of the 8 in the field. That's led by the highest remaining seed, number 3 Georgia, and their Golden Spikes Award candidate, Daniel Jackson, a catcher, trying to do 30-30. And 2 teams here in our first game making their Men's College World Series debuts. 8 teams here, 4 play today, 4 play tomorrow. It's double elimination within each bracket. And then the bracket winners meet starting next Saturday in a best-of-3 championship series. With that, we say hello and welcome back to Omaha. Alongside Eduardo Perez and Ben McDonald, I'm Mike Monaco. Taylor McGregor joins us in a moment. So we got an entirely new field from last year to this year. And guys, this sport keeps on growing. I just want to know, what are you most excited for here in Omaha?
I mean, for me, it's about crowning our new national champion. That's what I'm most excited about. You know, Omaha, Nebraska, a place where dreams come true. And let's face it, if you win the final game of this tournament, you will be remembered forever.
Look at the headlines. No team has been here was here last year. Just imagine now the possibilities of being able to crown that new national champion. And it means that none of these players have ever experienced Omaha. They're seeing a ballpark and setting foot in one that they've never set before, and it's a lot bigger than the ones they have at home.
And before these guys go on to even bigger ballparks in the major leagues, when you look at all the draft prospects that we have here, the 2 best are in this game. They're both sophomores, and we start with West Virginia and Gavin Kelly.
Yeah, Gavin Kelly, the second baseman for West Virginia, man. He has led West Virginia all year long, all 3 categories, home runs, batting average, and of course RBIs, and he's even picked it up a notch into postseason play. 12 for 29, and look, 9 of those 12 hits have been extra base hits, 4 long balls, and projected next year in the 2027 draft is an early first-round draft pick.
Well, you want to talk about projections. I think Troy has a good one himself behind the plate, and that one is Jimmy Jack Janicki, and you have to call him that because he is one of the players offensively that can put it to you. 19 home runs, 85 runs driven in. If there is traffic in front of him, he has the ability to get the ball in the air, and today is a conducive day to be able to slug in this ballpark.
Yeah, we'll see what the conditions look like today. His battery mate is Benjamin Stubbs, and for him and West Virginia starting pitcher Chanson Cole, how would you like to be here now? After last year, both guys were playing Division II ball. Now they start, Stubbs and Cole, on the biggest stage in the entire sport in Omaha. The 79th Men's College World Series starts next.
We're not your normal Cinderella story. We've got so much talent.
Look out, Omaha, here comes Troy.
Anybody can come here. Anybody can win a baseball game. The best 8 come, and the best 8 are here.
Country Roads meets Omaha. Here come the Mountaineers.
You're watching the 2026 Men's College World Series as Troy and West Virginia kick off this year's games. Now, when Troy head coach Skylar Meade first met with his group back in the fall, he told them, I believe this is a group that not only could get to Omaha, but it's one that could win a national championship. He said, we have a top 20 recruiting class, we have Jimmy Janicki, and so many other elite pieces around him. But now it's up to us to go prove to everybody else what we already know. And we do that with the work day in and day out. So their motto all year long has been leave no doubt, because they want to prove to everybody what they already know about Troy baseball.
We said it in the first day. Everything that you do, there better not be one shadow of doubt. Our edge is what's got us here. There can be no doubt in anything that you do.
Look out, Omaha, here comes Troy.
When we're in the competitive arena, you have the highest level of belief, you have the highest level of confidence, you're the highest level of teammate. If they stay who they are, then they will put themselves in the best position to win.
Skylar Meade from Troy was here in 2007 as a player with Louisville, and he said his team reminds him of that team. It was both programs' first time here in Omaha. In the regional, they both had to defeat Miami. They both went to the losers bracket to finally make it here to Omaha. The only difference, Mike, is he's hoping that his group has a better chance than that team in 2007.
T-Mac, they certainly are one of the last 4 teams into this field with an at-large bid. Check out the Troy batting order brought to you by Capital One. And it is rare that we spotlight the 8-hitter in a first game here, but Jabe Boroff has been nicknamed Jabe Ruth.
And when he barrels the baseball, it has a different sound to it. He's able to lift the ball in the air. What he has done in the postseason play is pretty impressive to be able to carry his team from the 8th spot.
Yeah, when he hits it, there's a collision at home plate. And our starting pitcher for West Virginia, Chanson Cole, will try to avoid those collisions. Pitched at Newberry College college last year, a D2 school his freshman year, transferred into West Virginia, and he has pitched like a real #1, folks. 10-1 with a 2.85 ERA. Not a hard thrower. It's a Ronald Reagan type fastball, mid to upper 80s with a Bugs Bunny changeup, but he knows how to use them.
Oh, we are off and running.
Yes, we are.
Look at this stage
Right, here we go.
on this beautiful diamond. The greatest show on dirt. The Men's College World Series, Omaha, Nebraska. Chanson Cole fires, strike one, and away we go. Chanson Cole, first team Big 12. He faces the Troy shortstop, Aaron Piasecki. He's done a really nice job handling short this year. He wanted to play shortstop when he transferred in from Central Michigan. Serves one into left at Ben Lumsden. And on 2 pitches, 1 out to settle it down for Chanson Cole. And Ben, you always talk about how important the first inning is, but on this stage even more so.
It is, man. How do you control your heartbeat? How do you slow the game down? And that's going to be the challenge for our 2 starting pitchers, man, because I'm going to tell you, you can't create that adrenaline flow you get when you hop on the game mound. You get on the bump here, the adrenaline level goes through, and you can't create that down in that bullpen. So a good start for Chanson Cole. You just try to navigate and get through that first inning.
Now Josh Pine. This comes up and in and hits Pine on a sinker with plenty of arm side run, and Troy has a 1-out base runner to start.
Oh, welcome to the College World Series. First pitch you see getting into the plate. You talk about nerves on the mound. Same thing is for the hitters the first time around. They want to be able to see it. This one gets them right there in the midsection. Got to get on any which way. That'll leave a mark.
And that's what Cole's going to do, man. It's going to be heavy, heavy on that 2-seam fastball. He likes his changeup, a couple of different breaking balls as well.
So man on for the 3-hitter, the senior first baseman from Sydney, Australia, Blake Cavell. And on a very fun and experienced and really talented team for a mid-major out of the Sun Belt. This guy's got the most personality of maybe anyone in the 8-team field.
Keep an eye on the location. Velocity, it's not going to impress you. You mentioned that, Ben. But the location has to be on point, especially down with the guys that can lift the baseball. And Cavell is one of those.
Yeah, we were talking with Chanson Cole's teammates. They said, just look at his pitch chart. Everything is down in the zone. Oh, 2 leaks outside.
It's a little bit different arm slot, so it's not quite sidearm, but it's not far from it. So it's an arm slot you don't see a lot of. But it feels like it plays a little bit better than what the velocity is saying, but it's got a lot of horizontal run to that 2-seam fastball. When he's right, it's a lot of ground balls.
And you saw how many he's thrown, and then he pairs it with the pitch you just saw, the changeup, which you guys mentioned. And Chanson's teammates were saying to us, it's like a left-handed curveball for how much it moves.
Yeah. It's just one of those changeups that feel like it hardly ever, it just never gets to home plate.
Swing and a miss, and there it is, absolutely filthy for his first strikeout.
And that's the thing about him. When you talk about Chanson Cole's changeup, he will use it in just about any count, any situation. He leans on it, and if you talk to him, he'll tell you, this is my best pitch. And I'm going to tell you what, you can't throw one any better than that.
Important to get a big second out for Chanson Cole, because now he faces the guy who, according to our draft expert, Kylie McDaniel, is the best prospect in the field, regardless of age and draft class. Jimmy Janicki, sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois.
And keep an eye on where he has his hands at the plate. Little unorthodox, but as soon as the ball is released, they get in great position.
And a sword there, and it's 0-2 on Janicki.
That's the action that 2-seam fastball has. The hitters are thinking about the changeup, especially right on right. A tough one, but the 2-seamer works one. If he's able to establish it early, it happens, but he has to be able to pound it in.
Yep. Get it in, speed the bats up, get to the changeup on the outside part.
Runner goes, and this one is laced foul.
It's real power. We hear a lot about the launch angle all season long for the last few years. 18.8 degrees launch angle is the perfect mix to be able to have at the plate holding that back.
And he's in great company. 20 doubles, 15 home runs, 70 driven in this year. Tried to hold up, and on appeal down to first, Janicki did not go. Yeah, you talk about the swing for Janicki. We just showed you the numbers. It's after 2 home runs last year. as a freshman. Huge swing change in the fall with that setup, and it has unlocked everything and changed that launch angle. Cole's 1-2 is down. 2-2 on Janicki.
You have to pitch to your strength. What's the strength of changeup? The problem is you have Jimmy at the plate that has an OPS of over 1,300 against the changeup. This one's a different changeup, though. Let's see if he goes to it here.
2-2. Laced towards short and right at Matt Einish to end the inning. Jansen Cole posts a 0. And now West Virginia, for the first time ever, bats at the College World Series next.
West Virginia in Omaha. How has this never happened before? The longtime baseball crazy residents of this Appalachian hollow now finally hollering their way west with their sights on a national title, turning the road to Omaha into Country Roads Take Me Homaha.
Oh, it is always good to have the pipes of Ryan McGee for the first trip ever here to Omaha for West Virginia. We check out the Mountaineers batting order, brought to you by Capital One. So they got the superstar Gavin Kelly, who bats second, and then Armani Guzman, who can really run, leads off.
Really run 39 stolen bases this season. He disrupts opposing teams with the speed. It's just getting him off the bases if you want to control the West Virginia offense.
And that offense will go up against Benjamin Stubbs, left-handed pitcher. A senior, brings a lot of experience to the table. How about 221 career innings? But his first 3 years in college baseball at D2 Flagler College. And I tell you what, he had some good years there and finds himself now pitching game 1 here in Omaha.
He told us yesterday, this is crazy, he said, going from D2 to D1 and then to get to Omaha, start game 1, he said, about as the craziest thing I could have experienced.
I mean, can you imagine what his heartbeat is right now? Now, he's been around a while. Again, 4 years of pitching in college ball, but still, first time here in Omaha.
For this Troy team with 38 wins this season, he told you one of the last 4 in against West Virginia, the number 16 national seed. First pitch, 94 out of that left arm for strike 1 to Armani Guzman. Junior from New York, was honorable mention Big 12. You don't see there that he's got 38 stolen bases, far and away the most in the Big 12, and that has tied a West Virginia single season record. He chops one at second, and Sean Darnell, who commits the error, and Guzman will get to second.
Fundamental baseball at second base, and you could maybe accredit this to the nerves as well, but you have to be able to move your feet. Said it for many years. Ball hits dirt, you have to attack. If you do not attack, the ball will play you. He's caught in between in no man's land, and he's trying to make an Olay type play, and that will not work in this surface, especially during the day where it gets quick, especially on that second hop.
It almost looked like that ball hit the cut of the grass and kind of had a little bit different English to it and shot it a little bit towards first base on him.
So costly from Sean Darnell. And a man in scoring position right away for the superstar Gavin Kelly, second baseman in the 2 spot, who also catches for West Virginia. So he can catch, he can play second. Eduardo, you asked him yesterday, what's your favorite position? He said, hitter.
Yeah,
he
didn't say nothing about a position. He went straight to hitter.
He too, like Jimmy Janicki, the other star we talked about right off the top, has tapped into more power. Look at this. Year 1 as a freshman to year 2 here as a sophomore.
It's talking about changing hand positions, making adjustments, and also being able to spread out just a little bit more at the plate.
Up high from Stubbs, 2-1.
Gavin Kelly, one of the rare players that combine average power, on-base ability, and also situational production, and they're looking for him right here to trade places with Armani at second.
That's a strike. Top of the zone. There's Steve Saban's second-year head coach since he took over for the longtime head coach Randy Mazey, retired a couple years ago after a dozen years. But Steve Saban was Mazey's right-hand man. Young, energetic head coach who's authored a special season for the Mountaineers. Kelly chases and strikes out. And Stubbs with a good response. Guzman bolts to third on the throw and picks up 90 on Janicki and Cavill.
Fearless, playing with your head up, anticipating when the ball hits dirt, knowing that the throw has to go to first base, and with your speed, you can get there. Excellent pitch to be able to get the chase.
That's the slider right there. Slider and a curveball for Stubbs, and that's a really good one. Just down and in and just underneath the bat, and then watch the runner at second base. Guzman, he's going to pick it up and take an extra 90 using that speed that he has. 38 stolen bases on the year.
And there's a lot of that in this West Virginia offense. Until recently, they hadn't hit a ton of home runs this year. But they can really affect the game with their athleticism. Here's Paul Schoenfeld, fifth-year senior from Wichita.
It's amazing. You would think that that should be accredited almost like a stolen base because he stole it off the catcher just on the block. Not being able to check him and hold him and freezing him. Now you're 90 feet infield, plays back corner at third in.
This is when you have to be good. When you don't need a base hit to score a run, you got to figure out how to get that run home. And so important to score the first run of the game, too. This West Virginia team has been on fire. They are 17-3 in their last 20 games. And boy, the offense has ticked up a ton. In the NCAA tournament, 7 games, they're averaging nearly 11 runs per game.
0-2. Schoenfeld stays alive. Well, this West Virginia team had to do it the hard way in the regional. They got a couple dramatic wins in Morgantown against Kentucky that you very likely might have seen the post-game scene with Country Roads. And then they blitzed through their super regional they hosted against Cal Poly last weekend. Another 0-2.
Well, a strikeout here obviously be huge for Stubbs. A 1-ball, 2-strike count, that is exactly what he's thinking. How can I get a swing and miss?
He paints with 96 to freeze Paul Schoenfeld and back-to-back punchies.
That's what you call reaching that lunch pail and put a little extra cheese right there. 96, are you kidding me? Just rears back my best against yours and just paints that four-seamer perfectly on the outside edge, and Schoenfeld caught looking on that in a big strikeout for Stubbs.
I like to picture Ben showing up to his hunting expeditions with a lunch pail.
With the Incredible Hulk on it.
John Smith is the DH in the cleanup spot. Also honorable mention, Big 12. Big frame, really good bat-to-ball guy. Transfer from Georgia Southern, trying to get Guzman home. He bolts for the plate. Safe! He steals home! Wow!
Got to keep an eye on him. 39 for Guzman, and this one was all legs. West Virginia getting on the board early, and if you watch Guzman, he just takes off from the stretch, trying to anticipate the balk, but you see right there, steps off and is able to sneak that mitt, left hand right into the plate, sliding through.
I mean, that is incredible to stand alone as the all-time stolen base king in a single season in 135 years of West Virginia history.
That's big time right there. Left-handed pitcher, of course, he can't see the guy over at third base very well at all.
Hey, I got him disengaged.
Now the home plate umpire, Jason Bradley, comes down to talk with third base umpire Billy Van Raphorst. Something about disengagements. And evidently he's got the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. I think that's emotion from Armani Guzman right there.
That's a lot of adrenaline right now there. Understanding what your strength is one of the most important things for a ball player, and Armani Guzman understands it. Really good instincts on the bases. We saw it going from second to third, and they're on the stolen base with 2 outs.
This is laced into left field by Sean Smith for a base hit. Yeah, we were talking with the coaching staff for West Virginia today, and Eddie, you had asked about Armani Guzman on the bases, and they said the instincts are off the charts, and same with the aggressiveness.
They're off the charts, and he is able to slow down the game when he is on the bases. That's what makes him special. This, by the way, is the first time he gets a straight steal of home the entire season. It's his 5th one, but the first time he goes straight through, not on a double steal.
Matt Gravelin bats with 2 outs and 1 on, and we check in with Taylor.
Well, Gavin Kelly coming up to Guzman and telling me thanks for picking me up on that. But to your point about the stealing, they talk about it and watch video every single day. It's a huge part of their culture, preparing not only for the opposing pitcher, but also trying to get tips and tricks to try to be aggressive on the base paths.
That's great stuff. Steve Sabanson said to us this morning, we talk about base running and attacking pitchers as much as we do talking about the approach and the pitch mix of pitchers.
Yeah. Can we talk about Jason Bradley, the home plate umpire, and the way he was able to hang in there?
Please, be my guest.
I mean, he stayed right in there for it. Trying to get knocked off his feet. Excellent call at the plate.
Had to untangle. By the way, we will get to him later on. We've got Scott Klein with us, who has umpired 4 of these. For all your rules questions as we go over the next week and a half. Really excited about that.
And he has his glasses on today, too.
Like you.
There we go.
And Ben.
That's right. Got to be able to see.
I love umpires. Once they hang them up, they say, you know what? Let's put the glasses on.
A little late by then.
Oh, come on, he can't even defend himself.
Just a little late.
Oh, man, you got to love him.
Benjamin Stubbs 1-2. Matt Gravelin strikes out. It's an answer from Benjamin Stubbs. But how about the aggressiveness and the boldness from Armani Guzman to get West Virginia out to the lead? The NCAA Men's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? NCAA Men's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? 30 losses for Troy, no problem. They still dogpile. Won a super at home against Little Rock. And then we told you West Virginia swept Cal Poly Friday and Saturday. 12-2 on Friday, 17-1 on Saturday to get here.
Yeah, listen, I know Troy lost 30 games, but if you look at their strength of schedule for the year, they had the #1 strength of schedule, the hardest non-conference schedule in baseball. So it's a little bit deceiving. 30 losses, yes, but they played some big-time competition.
First 30-loss team to reach the Men's College World Series, but you're right. I mean, they scheduled a gauntlet after a couple of years of heartbreak, missing out on at-large bids, and it was enough to get in this year. That's Skylar Meade, the head coach, 5th year on the job, and man, they played a murderer's row. He's got Steve Meyer leading off, who rolls one at second. Gavin Kelly to his feet. Slick work.
That's a really impressive job by Kelly, who stays down on this one. It's a lot easier for an infielder when they go, if it's laterally to the left or to the right, to be able to keep that head down. So he does by keeping the body, using the slide, and then making a perfect throw to first.
Yeah, when you got a runner that can get down the line, the slide is maybe the quickest way to get it up and get it over to first base.
Now Drew Nelson. He takes strike one from Chanson Cole. Drew Nelson is from Troy, first team Sun Belt. He's had a heck of a season as a former two-way guy who, because of injury, is now just hitting. He's down 0-2.
That's a perfect example. Those two pitches is what Chanson Cole loves to do. Fastball in, the speed to bat up at 88, and he gets to his best pitch, which is the changeup away. That's how he's going to pitch today. He's going to go back and forth, and that is just what I call doing it right there. Fastball in, changeup away, and back to the fastball in again. Second strikeout of the day for Cole. Two-seam fastball, just kind of front doors it. It's a ball out of the hand. He just creeps it right back over the inside part. Well done.
A self-described pretty boring guy, Chanson Cole says. Says he's been called that his whole life. But Steve Saban says there's nothing boring about shoving on the mound, which he's done all season.
And the thing is, as a hitter, you go back to that dugout, and next thing you know, it's the 5th, 6th inning, and Chanson Cole is still out there being able to do his thing in and out without a lot of velocity. And that's what he wants. He wants to make you frustrated at the plate, thinking there's no way he's going to get me the next time. And guess what? He does, because he changes it up on you.
It's called a comfortable 0 for 4 when the dust settles, is what it's called.
John Darnell plugs a gap in right center field, and that'll roll into the alley. Darnell bolts for second, and he's got a 2-out double for Troy in their first hit in Omaha.
80-mile-per-hour pitch, but where it was the location, it has to be down, and it's a changeup. Pitch stays up. Those are the ones that are going to get hit. Those are the ones that left-handed hitters have an opportunity to. Out over the plate, they're moving up on the plate, trying to eliminate some of that velo or lack of velo with the changeup, and he's able to pick two, especially with 2 outs.
Nice way for Sean Darnell to try to atone for the error that led to Armani Guzman scoring the game's first run. Now Jabe Boroff, DH in the 8th spot, who has taken college baseball by storm. JUCO transfer, who had 7 hits in the entire regular season and now has 6 home runs in the NCAA tournament. Jabe Ruth, and he told us, yeah, that's a pretty good nickname.
I like that nickname. Look at that. Before the NCAA tournament, 5 long balls, and look at the 7 games, 6 home runs. And I tell you what, only 91 at-bats total in the season coming into today.
He was in the opening day starting lineup. They had very high hopes for him. They actually thought he might go to pro ball out of junior college. But he showed up at Troy instead and just kind of struggled. And he said to us he was off mentally a lot of this season. Then got an opportunity with some injuries, and man, he has run with it. 3-1 from Cole.
I'm curious to see what pitch he goes with here. Boroff has yet to get a hit off a changeup all season long. And it's a small sample size because only the 91 at-bats. But if he goes with the number 1 and it stays up, there could be a change in that scoreboard.
Boroff on the ground, sharply into left field, a base hit. Darnell rounds third. Ben Lumsden's throw, the tag, not in time. Troy is on the board, and we're tied in the second.
Went with the number 1. Hit him on the ground, but did change the scoreboard. 3-1, he gets aggressive, puts it in play, and with 2 outs, Troy has tied this game up.
Got himself at a plus count, 3-1 count, looking fastball, and he gets one. Not hit extremely hard, but hit in the perfect spot, right in between short and third. And Sean Darnell out at second base, off and moving on the swing.
I'm pretty surprised he went with the fastball there.
You mentioned the numbers for Boroff against changeups. And now Houston Markham rolls one into right, and it's a stop sign for Jay Boroff at third from Skylar Meade. 3 straight 2-out hits for the Trojans. Let's check in with Taylor.
Well, we're all wondering where the nickname Jay Bruce came from. I asked Jack Byers, who's in charge of Troy social media, and he told me he saw it on the good old X machine from one of their big-time donors, Jason Jones. He pumped it out there. Jack said, hey, I'm going to steal that. They used it, and now, I mean, basically, he's synonymous. Jabe Ruth. How about that?
It's incredible. 8-hole hitter, and he's saying putt because they're very comfortable with him there. Troy's answered here in the second, and the lineup turns over to Aaron Piasecki. Takes down, really good block by Matt Gravlin.
Bottom of the order has produced the entire regional and super regional, and they're doing it again here in Omaha.
Piasecki flew to left his first time. Beaten into the ground at Gavin Kelly. And Chanson Cole strands 2. But Troy gets 1. And if you haven't heard by now, the best nickname in college baseball is Jabe Ruth. More of the same from Jay Boroff. And we're tied in the second on day 1 in Omaha.
That's it.
35 years of West Virginia baseball, but look at the last 30 seasons. No trips to the NCAA tournament from 97 to 2012, and a few hundred fans per game. Recently, awesome, dozen years under Randy Mazey, and now a couple years under Steve Sabins. And look at the average attendance. Yeah. School record this year, and it was absolutely rocking in Morgantown the last few weekends. They got a gorgeous ballpark, and Randy Mazey did so much. Again, 12 years, then he retired a couple of years ago. At the time, he had 2 high school students. One of them now is on this West Virginia team. Wife Amanda right beside him. That Pat McAfee, not only in Morgantown last weekend for Supers right behind home plate, but here in Omaha too. Did his show and then said, I need to get over to the Chuck. Benjamin Stubbs thought he had strike 3. Instead, 1-2 on Matt Einish, the shortstop for West Virginia. I mean, how good were the scenes coming out of Morgantown?
My goodness, that regional and that super regional in Morgantown, special.
Steve Saban said he would look up into the crowd during Country Roads when they were singing after wins, and he would see grown men crying. And he thought, man, how much does this mean to our entire state?
They've created an unbelievable culture there with heavy expectations.
2-2. Wasn't Saban's impressive to chat with? I mean, we've covered him from afar. We had seen him as an assistant coach, but him sitting in this chair, we chatted with him for a while this morning. He's impressive.
He really is, and he knows what makes each one of their players click. And it's not only the players, it's the community and all. The culture that was created before, he's continued that culture, and the players have bought into it. Players want to play in West Virginia.
I mean, you look like what West Virginia has done the last 2 years. 44 wins last year, a program record 45 wins this year.
Benjamin Stubbs 2-2. Up and away, and a full count worked by the always patient Matt Einish.
Already in this at-bat, Benjamin Stubbs has thought he had 2 pitches that should have been called strikes. Body language changing a little bit. 3-2, big pitch here.
Fouled away. So what Matt Einish does, sophomore transfer from Ohio University, leads the team with 51 walks and an on-base percentage near .440. He's got the second lowest chase rate and swing and miss rate in the entire Big 12. And he spits on one south of the knees to get aboard to start the second.
How about that? 0-2 and work it all the way back to a walk.
Mentioned Benjamin Stubbs already on 2 pitches. Watch this 3-2 pitch where he thought this is strike 3. Now it's about being able to harness your emotions on the mound and not let it get away from you. Ball 4, but he thought this one was a strike, and it was down, clearly down.
Now Brody Kresser takes strike 1 from Stubbs. Kresser can bounce around on the infield for this team. From Jessup, Iowa, 5th-year senior in year 3 with the Mountaineers after coming in from junior college. Ooh, just missed with 94.
And boy, you have to be ready if you're Troy to defend the bunt against West Virginia, because that's what they love to do. 30 sacrifice bunts, by far more than any team in this field. They love to put the ball on the ground. They love to steal bases. It's a huge part of their offense.
Bouncing ball right side, and that is past Sean Darnell into right. Matt Einish stops at second, and the first 2 are on for the Mountaineers in the last of the second.
Boy, that's such a good job right there, right?
There's a reason why he's hitting .343 coming into this at-bat against lefties, because he can do that. You get that 4-3 hole open, trying to at least move that runner, if not the second to third, and get yourself on, and he does that. Bottom of the order, trying to get it back to the top.
And you got to think sack bunt's coming here. First and second, nobody out. The 8-hole hitter at the plate, and it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup.
Pine at third, Cabell at first. They're in on the corners.
Before the game, during batting practice, one of the hitting groups, before you get on the hitting group, it's all about bunting stations. They had a machine, and each hitter had to bunt at least 20 times back to the first and towards third base to get it down. This is about execution, about repetition, and about being able to do it in this moment, the biggest stage.
Hey, for the latest news, insight, and in-depth analysis from the 2026 Men's College World Series, Go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all NCAA championships.
Lumsden at the plate only hits 200 against left-handed pitching. And that's another reason why you think he's going to put the ball on the ground here.
See if he moves his feet towards Stubbs on the mound.
The Mountaineers have 5 sack bunts in the tournament, and Lumsden already declares, and he takes high. Lumsden, a senior who's been in and out of the lineup over his entire 3 years with West Virginia. Strike on the edge. Ben, where do you want to be as a pitcher when a guy's clearly trying to drop down a sack bunt?
Well, I mean, if you get ahead in the count, you can always elevate and try to get a pop-up. But you got to know your responsibility here. And your responsibility as a pitcher is a ball back at you and towards the third base line. That's your coverage as a pitcher. What's odd to me is the first baseman, Cavill's not even moving in a bunt situation. Typically, you see the first baseman crash in this situation.
Yeah, but you usually see it if it's a right-handed hitter. Left-handed hitter, they usually want to bunt the ball to third where you're supposed to.
This is popped up. Pine handled the hop, and he throws out Lumsden, whose sack is successful, and now 2 in scoring position.
That's West Virginia, and that's what they do, folks.
You got to force the third baseman to make the play. It's exactly what they did. Evacuate the position. He's trying to get the read. Ball gets in the air. In that step that he took back for a second, that hesitation allowed the runners to get a better jump at first and at second. Well done.
So now to the 9th spot for the glove first third baseman Tyrus Hall. First pitch swinging, launched to left center field, back toward the wall and off the wall. Einish and Kresser score. Tyrus Hall comes through again for the Mountaineers.
Did you say glove first? How about wall first? First pitch he sees in the College World Series with runners on base is, how do you like me now? Don't try to throw a fastball by me. Hall getting the bat head out there on a changeup, stays up in the zone and just gets barreled. Just a foot from leaving this ballpark.
Well, the bottom part of both of these lineups getting it done early in this one.
104 off the bat for Tyrus Hall, who had 2 monster home runs last weekend in the Super and carries it over here to the College World Series. Hall had a grand slam Friday in game 1 that sent Morgantown into a frenzy. And then Saturday game 2, he went back-to-back in the second with Ben Lumsden. And this place is rocking with the Mountaineers faithful into it.
Got to be careful with the bunt here again. He showed it once. He can execute if he goes to the drag.
Armani Guzman is down 0-2. Ben, what do you see from Stubbs so far?
The ball, to me, is elevated a little bit more. Both of our pitchers have the ball elevated, and that is not uncommon with the heartbeat and the pressure that's on these 2 pitchers right now. But he's best when he's down at the bottom of the zone and hit that changeup a little bit elevated, the fastball a little bit elevated for him.
Guzman reached on the error at second from Darnell back in the first. And then Guzman had the first straight steal of home at the Men's College World Series since 2000. 0-2. Soares. I think that's the curveball that Skylar Meade, who doubles as the pitching coach, was saying to us today. He really needs to get the downturn curveball they thought to be effective against West Virginia.
They said his last 5 appearances, the curveball has been almost non-existent. He is searching for that curveball, which they feel like is one of his best pitches, but he's had trouble locating it as of late.
1-2. That one nearly clipped Guzman.
Guys, just think about how the first 2 innings have started already for West Virginia. They get Armani on a fielding error. Then the leadoff walk this inning. If you start giving away free bases, in these cases, this is where West Virginia takes advantage of it. Cannot have too many mistakes against a team like this.
2-2, runners going, and this is lifted right toward the second base bag. Aaron Piasecki for out number 2. Let's watch this with Benjamin Stubbs. Guys, right before his last pitch, kind of shaking out the arm.
Yeah, he's kind of looking at his hand first, and then he just shakes out his arm. So I don't know if it's a hand issue, an arm issue, but that looked a little bit odd.
Well, good to see. Evidently no worse for the wear. Big spot here with West Virginia already up 2 in the second, and Gavin Kelly, the star second baseman. This one spiked and didn't get far enough away for Tyrus Hall. Skylar Meade said to us today about Benjamin Stubbs. Look, he's a senior. He's a real confident, mature kid. He didn't think that Benjamin Stubbs would be nervous on this stage. Of course, when you get out there for the first time, it's different.
It's different.
Kelly drives this one to center. Steve Meyer on the move, runs it down, and the inning is over. But Tyrus Hall has the glove and the bat the last couple weekends.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tyrus Hall went up there looking for the very first pitch he saw, and he got one that he'd like to elevate it. And boy, the hands go first, and he puts his nose on it and buries it out to left center field. That drives in 2, and the Mountaineers up early in this one, 3-1.
Welcome back here to Omaha, joined now by West Virginia head coach Steve Sabins. You wanted aggressiveness on the base paths, you certainly got it. How important is that to the brand of baseball you guys play?
It really is, and Guzman obviously started this party off the right way, just getting down the line to begin with and capitalize on a throw across the diamond, and then to be able to steal home in this situation to lead off was really good. I think probably as a whole, it just allows our team to say, hey, let's just play our brand of baseball.
What did you see from Chasen in the second as they were able to string together some hits?
He's just doing what he does, and they had a nice approach. They've moved up in the box a little bit. They try to take away the bottom of the zone, so he'll adjust and make some changes. He just competes out there and throws strikes for the most part.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank
Mike?
you.
Taylor, thank you very much. Steve Sabins, 9 years as Randy Mazey's assistant. And when Steve Sabins got hired as an assistant, Sabins was the youngest power conference assistant coach in the country. And now in year 2 as a head coach, has led the Mountaineers here. And you heard him say to Taylor that Troy kind of moving up in the box against Chanson Cole.
Yeah, you usually see a lot of the, if you're a right-handed hitter, the right foot on the line, back part of the box. You don't see that from both righties and lefties. They're trying to take away that pitch down in the zone that's been so effective for Cole, and also the changeup. Elevates it a little bit more or tries to sneak it past them, and they'll be ready.
Josh Pine did not offer, so it's 2-1 on the 5th-year senior Indiana transfer.
Pine more of a gap-to-gap hitter. It's not about the power, it's about the extra base hits, finding that gap and getting in scoring position.
It's that nasty right-on-right changeup from Chanson Cole. He told us yesterday, yeah, that's my best pitch. On the ground left side, cut off by the diving Tyrus Hall, and as promised, he is slick with the mitt.
Wait, wasn't he a back guy or a wall guy?
First, you heard me.
Glove first. Being able to be in the right position.
Watch this play right here, man. Goes to the glove side, quickly to his feet, sticks his right spike in the dirt, points the shoulder, and just a perfect throw over to first place. You can't do it any better than this right here, folks.
Steve Saban's told us Tyrus Hall at third, as good as I've seen or coached defensively. Now Blake Cavell, 2-0. Very patient bat, kid from Australia.
When you have 88 in your back pocket, you need your defense to play. And they've come to play here in Omaha.
Little backdoor breaking ball to get right back in the count.
2-1 on Cavell. Playing here at the College World Series, after he also played at the Little League World Series back in the day. Came into this year with big expectations. Blake Cavell was the preseason Sun Belt Player of the Year. Hits this one on the screws into center at 107 miles an hour off his bat for a 1-out single.
You talk about, in Spanish, you would say tira y tapate. Throw it and duck. Fastball coming at you. This one stays up and hits it right back where it came from. Last time struck out on a changeup. This time he wanted to stay up the middle and just not try to do too much. Adjustment made.
No surprise that he's chatting over at first base. Skylar Meade told us he showed up and he's never shut up. Jimmy Janicki lines one in the right center field, and this will roll into the alley. Cavell motors first to third. Janicki doubles. Troy back in business.
Boy, Troy not messing around, folks. That is a beautiful move to the ball right there by Janicki.
Every ball so far this inning has been hit. Even the play by third base. Fantastic. Pitch stays out over, and because they're up out in front at the plate, they're not letting that ball sink as much. Staying a little flatter than usual.
And I tell you what Troy's doing too. They're not respecting the ball on the inside part of the plate. Their toes are up on the plate. They're looking for the ball middle away right now, and when they're getting them, they are not missing them. So if you're chancing Cole, the idea is to keep the ball down. That's when he's at his best, is down, and use that two-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate maybe a little bit more than what he has so far.
Janicki just showed why he's so highly touted. You have to make adjustments within the game. You have to be able to go and use the other side of the plate. Spread out, does not, just puts the heel up and back down. Bat head just stays through the zone long enough to be able to tattoo that one into right center field.
Again, it happened one day in the fall where Troy had spread out a few other hitters, and Jimmy Janicki said, "Hey, can we try it with me?" They did, and in the first fall game right after that, he went 3 for 3 with 2 home runs.
Look how much in front Meyer is in the plate as well.
Steve Meyer in that left-hand box in the 5 spot after he grounded out to second his first time.
And West Virginia going to play the defense back again. They will concede the run.
Oh, 1. Meyer pops it up to left. Lumsden drifts toward the line. Cavell readies. Lumsden's throw. Cavell to the plate. He'll score to make it a 1-run game.
Excellent job being able to get it out far enough for Cavell to be able to score. Get it up in the air, get closer, peck away, continue to add pressure
to West Virginia.
We always talk about the red zone offense, right? How do you perform with runners in scoring position? How do you perform with a runner at third base less than 2 out? Can you find a way to get a run home?
And it's early, but it felt like a need for an answer from Troy. So 2 outs, a man still at second for Drew Nelson.
Ever since that visit, he's thrown a lot more changeups. Ditched a little bit the two-seam fastball that has not had the usual break that we've seen throughout the entire season for him.
Every day is a little bit different for a pitcher. I mean, your numbers tell you what you are throughout the season, but every day when you climb up on the bump, it's a little bit different. And right now, today, for me, Cole's fastball is a little bit elevated, and that two-seam fastball doesn't quite have the horizontal run. So now he's trying to figure out, okay, how can I navigate? How can I get through an inning? His best pitch has been his changeup. I mean, you look at swing and miss, 46% swing and miss on the changeup. D1 average about 32% to kind of give you an idea.
Adrenaline might have something to do with that two-seamer just flattening out a little bit.
You would think as he tires a little bit and he calms down a little bit, the ball's going to get back down in the zone where he typically likes it, which is just about knee-high.
0-1 on Drew Nelson after Troy's offensive timeout. On a line into center field, the base hit. Drew Nelson to score Jimmy Janicki. We're tied.
All the damage, and what a timeout. Getting him back into the game plan that Troy wanted to execute. Stays middle the other way, and that's what they've done this entire inning. It all started with the first base hit, and then just bat head staying through the zone. You see that front foot already on the top of the line there. They're taking away anything down, just drilling it the other way.
And again, I think they're looking middle away is where they're looking to, and that's where they're getting their balls. The approach has been really good for Troy so far.
Ball's in.
First pitch is a ball. The throw to second is not in time from Gravelin to get Drew Nelson.
Looked a lot closer from up here, fellas.
And it looks like we will get a challenge. West Virginia will challenge this.
Nice pick. Did he get it in time?
I think he got him. I don't know if he put the glove down and he kept it down or not. The ball definitely beat him there. No tag yet. No tag yet.
I think he got that left hand in there.
I think the call is going to stand.
I think it might even be confirmed. Well, as promised, we are so happy to have Scott Klein with us, former College World Series umpire. Scott, what do you see on this one at second?
Guys, I'm with you here. You're looking for some type of movement with the glove. It's just never there. And I've got his hand on the base before you see that glove flex. I've got safe.
Scott, thank you. Another look at it here, guys.
I mean, the throw beat him and the tag beat him, but the tag did not get to any of the arms. It got up on the left shoulder.
I think confirmed. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I just think it's too close to be able to call. Now, if he would have been called out, would you be able to overturn it? Heck of a throw, though.
I mean, Troy today already 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position.
After review, the call is confirmed. The runner is safe. West Virginia has 1 challenge remaining.
Scott's pretty good at this. Natural?
Well, I'm telling you.
He's made a call like that once or twice in his career.
So a stolen bag for Drew Nelson to go right back into scoring position with 2 outs here in the third.
Yeah, and it's something Troy don't do a lot of. I mean, you look at their stolen bases on the year, only 55 stolen bases, and that's just the 6th stolen base of the year for Nelson.
1-0 on Sean Darnell. Doubled his first time in score. 2-0 from Chance and Cole.
That's a really good take there on 1-0 change.
Backdoor breaking ball to get back into it 2-0. And how about that timeout, guys, taken by Ben Wolgamott, who does such a great job working with Skylar Meade, does such great work with the hitters. And he had so many good, well-timed timeouts in the supers that helped out Jay Boroff. 2-1. 2-2 on Darnell.
Darnell has to do what he's done the entire season. That's just grind out at bats, raise the pitch count, force that man right there on the bump to be able to continue to throw extra pitches.
2-2. Darnell sprays one foul.
And with 2 strikes, he gets right on top of the plate. Not only is he up, but he's on top of it as well.
It's just a really good Troy offense. They've got the highest walk rate in the Sun Belt. They've got the second lowest chase rate in the Sun Belt. The 2-2. Hit on a line, left center field. Paul Schoenfeld got a great jump, but he can't get there. Nelson scores. And it's an RBI double from Sean Darnell to put Troy on top.
2-strike approach. Get on top of the plate. Not intimidated, as Ben had alluded to many a times, of anything middle in. Everything's middle away to righties to lefties. And give Troy a lot of credit. They're seeing the ball and they're hitting it exactly where it's pitched. And they're forcing the defense to make the play.
You can see the approach, and the approach for me all game, and it's early in this ball game, is look for the ball middle away. What's odd is Jansen Cole, when he normally gets runners in scoring position, they're only hitting 158 off of him the whole season. But Troy is 4 for 5 so far today with runners in scoring position, and that's been the difference.
Look at all these 2-out hits. You guys mentioned approach, doing it with whether it's 2 outs or 2 strikes, and a couple doubles from Sean Darnell.
But if you continue to look at the lineup from this inning where it all started, and Cavill was the first one to keep it up the middle, and the recurring theme has been gap to gap. Don't try to pull it too much. Just stay up the middle with it and allow the pitch to dictate what you're going to do. And Troy has made that adjustment.
And they have chased Jansen Cole from this game. Jansen Cole, first team Big 12, guy who'd been rolling in the NCAA tournament. Troy's put 4 on him and forced Ian Korn into the game.
pushed Chance and Cole out of the ballgame. He was good early. Changeup was down. Fastballs were down. He was peppering the bottom of the zone. And then all of a sudden, the ball started to get elevated a little bit. And Troy moved up in the box trying to catch that changeup with that fastball before it sunk. And they made him pay. When the ball got elevated, they started looking middle away. And that's where they got allotted. And they have pushed him out of the ballgame. 2 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs. He didn't walk a batter and struck out 2. And now West Virginia will turn to Ian Korn. And Ian Korn making his 23rd appearance of the year. Very good ERA, just a shade over 3. He's worked 70 1/3, and he struck out 63. Only 10 walks, so a very good 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
First team Big 12, and he gets Jabe Boroff. And it starts with strike 1 from Korn, who's been nasty against right-handed hitters, and Steve Saban's not messing around.
This is a strike thrower, and he looks for the ground ball. Watch the infield start making the plays here for him.
It's the slider from Korn, who's a Division II transfer, much like the West Virginia starter Chance and Cole. It faces Jabe Boroff, who had the RBI single his first time in the second.
Fastball is a low 90s fastball, a little cutter, slider, curveball, and an occasional changeup.
West Virginia got 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Troy got 1 in the second, 3 so far in the third. Everything away from Korn, but it's 3-1 on Boroff.
That's a great take, and he works the count again for the second time in this College World Series to a 3-1 count. Last time was able to drive the first run in for Troy.
Up and in. Boroff walks. Boy, he looks uber confident in the box, and there's 2 on for Troy.
Got locked in. Laying off tough pitches that early on in the year was not able to hold back on. It would be a free swinger. The discipline is coming to play now. The most important part of the season.
Well, the bottom part of this lineup for Troy getting it done. 5 plate appearances. 7, 8, and 9 have been on all 5 times so far.
Strike 1 to start from Ian Korn to Houston Markham. Sometimes goes by his middle name, Cody. Right fielder in the 9th spot, who had a sharply hit pull side single his first time. Beats 1 into the ground right side at Brody Cresser to the bag. Inning over. Ian Korn does his job, but the damage done for Troy. Out of the Sun Belt, one of the last 4 teams in, all the way to Omaha, and a 1-run lead early. The Cubs are in San Francisco to take on the Giants, led by Tony Vitello, formerly here, capturing the 2024 Men's College World Series in Omaha. It's Sunday, 3 Eastern on ABC. You can also stream it on the ESPN app. Let's check in with Taylor.
Tony Vitello today, and he reached out to Troy head coach Skylar Meade, gave him some advice. And one of the things that stood out to me, guys, is he said the players here have so many extracurricular things going on. So his advice to Meade was have the guys take care of that early, deal with family, deal with tickets early, so that come game day and come all the games that follow, the team is locked in and ready to go.
Yeah, because there is so much going on. Skylar Meade has a lot going on with all his responsibilities leading this Troy program. Paul Schoenfeld leads off against Benjamin Stubbs. I thought that was so cool. Tony Vitello wrote a pretty long message to Skylar Meade saying what to expect, how to map out this time in Omaha to try to win the thing, not just show up. Up high again from Stubbs.
So many distractions here in Omaha, so many media that you have to deal with, family, friends that show up, and you want to please everyone, and I think this is why it is so difficult to be able to maneuver this gauntlet here.
Skylar Meade worked his way up as a pitching coach from Michigan State to South Carolina, and now 5 years as the head coach of Troy. Paul Schoenfeld right into the shift at Aaron Piasecki for the first down. Skylar Meade pitched here in Omaha in 2007 for Louisville, who at the time was led by first-year head coach Dan McDonnell. And as Skylar Meade said to us today, I wasn't that cool. I was throwing 82 here.
He was pumping that 82-mile-an-hour heater in there is what he was doing.
Last 7 outs, 3 punchies. No problem for Skylar Meade. Boy, he's done a great job. And wasn't he fun to talk to today? That's a ton of energy. Sean Smith clobbers the first one he sees to left. Got it. A solo shot from Sean Smith. And we're tied at 4.
That got out of here in a hurry, fellas.
That lead didn't last long, did it?
I mean, we were in Athens last week, and we saw some shots get out, and that one was very similar to what we witnessed last week in Athens, Georgia. And this one was just a fastball up. Did not miss it. Four-seamer, let me get ahead. Barrels it. As soon as he hit it, everyone in this stadium knew that ball was leaving the yard.
I mean, 109 off the bat. You talk about a no-doubter.
And what did Steve Sabins say to us this morning about Sean Smith? He said in the second half of the season, Sean Smith has learned to pull the ball because it's a guy with a great kind of leadoff hitter, 2-strike approach in this big frame. Well, now he's tapping into pull side power in the air.
It's a process. You start learning where you can catch the ball. Remember, I didn't say hit the ball, catch the ball. He's catching it out in front. And because he's catching it out in front and not pulling it foul, he's able to maintain the barrel long enough through the zone.
And how about the fellas in the bullpen, as we saw throughout regionals and supers in Morgantown?
It's all about getting yourself in a situation where you can catch the ball out in front, right? 2-strike counts, you're probably not going to do it. You're going to let that ball travel a little bit. But 0-0, when you guess, and he went up there and he guessed the heater and he got one, and boy, you talk about not missing one. But I see the approach from both of these teams like that. When they get themselves in plus counts, they're looking to do some damage. But they'll dial it back and go to that 2-strike approach whenever they get down in the count a little bit. And that's kind of where they are. Both of these teams understand who they are. Both of them are veteran teams. A lot of older players on both of these teams.
0-2. So, Eddie, what you're saying is
he hit it hard.
And that we're in for a lot of runs after that Athens Super last weekend.
What we see, 21 home runs in 2 games in Athens. That's what we saw in 2 games. 21 long balls.
Every time they swing, I flinch. That's what happened from last week.
I had nightmares when I left there. I mean, there were some pitchers icing down their ERAs in that one. And watch this swing here.
Watch the head. Head does not move at all, and then he catches it out in front. I mean, that is a perfect swing.
Just nice and simple is what that approach was.
Fouled away by Matt Gravlin.
Oh, he wants to get right back up there. He's got that 100% right on that forehead, and that's exactly what he did. He barreled that one 100%.
Stubbs 2-2. Graveline in the air to right, tailing toward the seats. Good catch out there.
Being out of, we were in banana ball, right?
Yes, it would.
Hey now, good play. Great crowd on hand for this first game of the Men's College World Series. Winner of this one moves on to Sunday night. The loser comes back and plays Sunday afternoon against whoever loses tonight's game. That's between Ole Miss and North Carolina. Well, what a game that's going to be, huh? Full count.
Oh, they're making him pitch too. Bullpen already warming up as well.
Well, that's the big time lefty, Zach Crotchfeld. Dotted 94 away for a backwards K and out number 2.
Big time pitch from Stubbs right there. 3-2, you got to throw a strike. He just leans on that two-seam fastball and paints it perfectly. Right on the outside edge.
Ben, as a hitter, when you take 3-2, that means you were looking for something else. Pitch right out over the plate, going back, shaking your head, saying, why did I not just step out? And
sometimes the hitter just can't pull the trigger. You know, it's just, but again, he could have been looking off speed. But I mean, Stubbs for the year throws right at 50% fastballs.
He was telling us yesterday, it's been a big jump in the level of competition from his 3 years at Division II Flagler to here in this season with Troy.
You think? I mean, you look around right now, and this is beauty at its best. And this is June baseball here in Omaha in College World Series.
Chopper right side from Matt Einish, and Stubbs late getting over there. Stubbs wants a challenge. Cavill at first had to wait on it, and for now, Matt Einish is aboard.
Boy, and you are taught 1,000 times from the time you're like in 6th grade.
Troy is challenging the safe call on the field. The play's under review.
Got to be moving towards first base. And it's harder for left-handed pitchers because left-handed pitchers fall off towards third base. Did he beat him? Or yeah, I think he beat him. Yeah.
I think it's difficult for the umpires when you have, and I love the safety of the green and the white bag. I love the safety of it. But to be able to have both eyes in the field, to be able to make that play and call, sometimes very difficult to do. But clearly,
the runner is out. Troy.
Just confirming what we can see and are about to hear.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out. Troy has 2 challenges remaining.
Scott Klein will give you that half inning off. We got that one on the phones.
We could take care of that one ourselves, but I tell you what, Sean Smith leaned back on one, and boy, he leaned back on that one, his 10th long ball of the year, and guess what, folks? We are all new again.
With Troy head coach Skylar Meade, you guys able to get them to go to their bullpen early. What about your offensive approach has worked?
I mean, guys bought in the plan. Coach Ben had a good plan, and now we got to move to the next guy. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. Everybody talks about all week. These two programs, we are absolute fighters, and so it's just going to be who can take all the punches that are about to be given the most.
How aggressive will you be with your bullpen?
You got to be aggressive here in Omaha. They got off days, so rest is their friend, But I like how Stubbs is throwing the ball. He got there on that first pitch, probably my fault, but made a great play there. Hopefully a little bit of momentum. Just continuing to attack the strike zone. That's the biggest thing. We got to get leadoff outs and attack strike zone. If we do that, then I'm cool with whatever the results are.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
Mike?
Taylor, he mentions that it's a better format because of, well, you get the off days here. And compare that to regionals where you got a battle. And for this Troy team, they lost the opener to the 2-seed Miami, and then they won 4 straight elimination games. And what do you got on the timer, Eddie?
Oh, slow.
It's become a running bit from Skylar Meade. First pitch swinging, Aaron Piasecki to center at Paul Schoenfeld. 1 pitch, 1 out, Ian Korn in the 4th. Slow, huh?
Slow. I thought those 3 strikes were pretty fast. We saw it cover first, get the out. It's a long way.
It is from the first base dugout. So they win 4 straight elimination games in the regional. They got their last 2 over Florida, the host in Gainesville, with a boatload of offense. And it swept Little Rock at home in the Trojan War in the Super last weekend. Josh Pine squares and pulls back.
Yeah, both of these offenses in the NCAA tournament have been rolling. Both of them averaging just shy of 11 runs per game.
That's been big for Skylar Meade's team, which can pitch great. They got real stuff on this roster. Pine jammed that he floats that foul. Last 4 in to Omaha for Troy. I mean, this team on May 2nd was 22-25. 16-5 since. Now again, we talked about how hard their schedule was, and that was by design after years of heartbreak. These last 2 seasons being snubbed. Last year, so much so that Skylar Meade said it was a travesty that their program didn't get in.
But their RPI years ago was not as strong as their RPI this year, and that's one of the reasons.
Korn strikes out Josh Pine, and there's 2 away.
And that's one of the reasons why the committee looked at it and said, look, they improved their quality of play. They went out there and they said, this is what we have to do to be able to get into a regional.
Well, this is Blake Cabell coming up. We told you he pitched at the Little League World Series with Team Australia. And now 11 years later, he's at the Men's College World Series. That was some buzz from that slot.
And he's a big dude when he was 12 years old. He's about the same size now, maybe a little bit heavier, but height-wise, very similar.
Are you talking fuzz with the pitch, or are you talking fuzz with the facial hair?
A little lip lettuce?
Both lip lettuce.
You like that? Certainly has it now. Senior first baseman. Yeah, it was a pitcher. Then and now.
There you go.
So he pitched for a pro team back in Australia, the Sydney Blue Sox. Told us he was like 16 or 17 years old. And on that team was Manny Ramirez in his late 40s, prolonging his baseball career. He said Manny Ramirez had a penthouse in Sydney, but then wanted out of the penthouse because Manny wasn't a fan of carpet.
Didn't like carpet, huh? That's just Manny being Manny.
Crushed into center, but it is deep at Charles Schwab Field. Paul Schoenfeld there. 1, 2, 3. What do you know? Top 4.
Fuzz.
NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
The Men's College World Series underway with day one, double elimination format. And guys, this is the entire bracket here. What jumps out to you?
You look at what's going to go on tonight. Mississippi against UNC. I mean, that is going to be one very good game.
I think for me, it's the SEC teams. You got 5 SEC teams here, the most ever by one conference in the history of the College World Series. And can anybody knock off the SEC? Because they have flat dominated here in Omaha recently. 6 in a row, 7 of 8, 11 of 16. And you go all the way back to 1990. There's your Georgia Bulldogs. They won the first ever national championship for an SEC team. And the SEC has now won 17 of the last 35 national titles.
Georgia, the highest ranked remaining team in the fields. We lost the 1 seed UCLA, who to that point had been the wire-to-wire #1 during regionals, and lost the #2 overall seed Georgia Tech during regionals against Oklahoma.
So that's back-to-back years we've lost the #1 overall and the #2 overall national seeds. Just amazing.
And think about how close Carolina came to also being eliminated with USC in Chapel Hill. 2 outs away.
Brody Kresser, by the way, just flew out to Houston Markham.
Watch out for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, no one asked for my opinion. I think they are criminally underrated.
I do too. I do too. There's nothing they can't do. When you look at the Tar Heels, I mean, you talk a lot about their pitching, and you should talk a lot about their pitching. Obviously, it's top 10 in baseball, but so is their defense. And don't sleep on their offense either. It's an offense that averages nearly 9 runs per game. Nobody talks about their offense because they don't hit a ton of home runs. They don't steal a ton of bases. But, boy, their approach is next level, and they can put some runs on the scoreboard. And the thing about them is you don't have to score a ton of runs because typically that pitching staff is really, really good.
Put emphasis on what you said, approach. That's what wins ball games during the regular season, and execution is what wins here in Omaha.
Ben Lumsden grounded out to Sean Darnell at second. And now Tyrus Hall in the 9th spot for West Virginia. Eduardo Perez, Ben McDonald, Mike Monaco with you upstairs. Scott Klein with us as well. And Taylor McGregor down on the field. Hall had the 2-run double to left center. It just missed the home run his first time.
So he's sitting on the #1 right here. Last time it was a changeup first pitch that he saw. Drove in 2 with it. Good pitch. Middle in, up a little bit in the zone, not allowing him to get his hands extended on that 2-0 pitch.
By the way, look out behind the plate. I think our camera almost got smoked. Those lenses are expensive. It's coming out of Ben's paycheck to 2-1. Dotted at 94. Full count.
Benjamin Stubbs trying to put together his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. He's had traffic in every inning.
Gonna have to land this fastball.
(3-2). And the heater didn't get chase from Tyrus Hall. So a 2-out walk to the 9-man for West Virginia, and it flips back to the top for Armani Guzman.
Being able to repeat delivery on that one. Hall getting on base via the walk. Don't be surprised if they put him in motion just to try to get him into scoring position.
Well, Hall can run now. He's 19 for 22 in stolen bases.
Throughout the years, I've always told the fans, keep an eye on the left foot of the left-handed pitcher picking off. That's the toe that comes up on the pickoff, right there.
Like a little flinch in the pitcher's left toe, you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, just the left toe. Lou Brock years ago said it was easier to steal off left-handed pitchers than right-handed pitchers because he focused on the left foot, the toe. If the pitcher dug it in, he would go home. If he lifts it up and you can see cleat on the bottom, he would go to first.
Just kind of the way that the footwork
Just
is.
kind of the way the body, you put a lot more weight on the back side, it comes up. Right there, back, you go.
Right there. West Virginia 21 for 21 stealing bases in the tournament.
As soon as that toe comes up, you see cleat there? He goes over to first. If you don't see it and he digs in with that left foot, the left toe, goes home.
We have cameras that cover this event from all angles.
Yep.
Specifically to zoom in on the pitcher's
We got
left
the toe cam. We got the toe cam.
Toe cam.
Nothing wrong having the toe cam.
Nah.
Is there a way for Stubbs to slightly pick up that left toe a little bit and go to home plate, though?
That's going to be difficult because of the balance in your body.
Hall at first. Back to the bag.
There are a couple pitchers in the major leagues. Andy Pettitte comes into mind, one of them that never did that. He had unbelievable balance, and that was why he picked off so many guys in the big leagues.
Wow, pretty good
Just
pitch
missed
right
from
there.
Stubbs.
Stubbs thought he had strike 3.
How many times today has Stubbs done that?
I would say 5.
He thinks that it's a strike, and
well, look where Janicki is. He's just on the outside edge, exactly where it's delivered.
That's a ball. Good call.
One, two. Guzman pops it up. Behind home plate, Jimmy Janicki runs out of room.
I send him first move right here.
Why?
1, 2. Because I have the leadoff hitter on. He's got 2 strikes. If he is picked off, then so be it. You have your leadoff hitter, Guzman, up the next inning. First move right now. As soon as he lifts his leg, you go. Put pressure on the defense to make the play. If he is safe, he's in scoring position with 2 strikes.
Taylor was telling us earlier how West Virginia studies and spends so much time on base running and studying opposing pitchers. Guzman doesn't chase, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you another thing that Troy has to be aware of is with the shift and really good speed at first base is that runner just continuing to go to third base if no one covers the bag at third.
Guzman toward the gap in left center field, and the diving catch now made by Drew Nelson. Hall motors around third, and West Virginia's got the lead.
Well, a lot going on right there. And you miss a cutoff man and take an extra 90 on you as well.
But who's the batter runner that takes that extra 90? Again, the usual suspect, and it's not Kaiser Soze. It's Mr. Guzman at third base. He runs with his head up the entire time. He sees the play in front of him, and once he sees that throw, he continues to go to third base. Great vantage point that we see right here. Head up running, does not stop. Sees it's going to miss the cutoff man, and now he's just 90 feet away.
Yeah, the throw's in front of him, so he's reading it the entire time. When he saw it airmailed and missed the cutoff man, he took an extra 90.
That's the play right there you cannot dive in the outfield for. You have to play it on the bounce, keep runners at second and third. If you do, the risk is higher than the reward.
The reward being out of the inning, though.
Out of the inning, but you have to be 100% sure you're going to be able to catch it in the air. That ball bounced way before he landed on the ground.
Jimmy Janicki, the catcher, will slow things down with West Virginia back in front and with the momentum.
Nelson just lays out a little bit of a bad break for Troy. You see where the ball kicks. It kicks all the way around from him, and the center fielder Myers backing him up. He has to go retrieve the ball.
And Skylar Meade comes out and will make the move. Third time through the order. And Taylor asks Skylar Meade how aggressive he needs to be with his bullpen. And he said on this stage and with this format where you get a day off between games, he said he'll be very aggressive. And as promised, Skylar Meade signals to the bullpen for Zach Crotchfeld, senior lefty with a 3.50 ERA. West Virginia snatches back the lead. Back and forth. Really good opener here in Omaha at the Men's College World Series. Crotchfeld is a great reliever with a heck of an entrance, screaming and slapping the back of his neck to enter this stage.
And no buttons buttoned up on that shirt hardly either. But hey, with the year that Crotchfeld has had, why not, man? He has been really good. 7-2, 61 2/3. You look at Benjamin Stubbs' numbers. 4 earned runs in 3 2/3. And he had a pretty good curveball early in the game. That's a good one right there. Just kind of down in underneath the bat. There's another really good one. And then he kind of got away from it. Started elevating the ball, kind of up, out, over the plate. And the approach was really good for West Virginia. They started attacking balls up in the zone, and I love their approach. It was gap to gap the entire time. So he kind of got away from the breaking ball for whatever reason. And there is Zach Crotchfeld making his 28th appearance of the year, man. He can strike you out. 61 2/3, 74 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .263 off the left-hander, Crotchfeld.
Nobody working harder in this stadium than those bottom 2 buttons on Zach Crotchfeld's jersey. Skylar Meade said to us today, he needs to be the guy for us. So he brings him in with a man at third, and the superstar Gavin Kelly going first pitch swinging on the 1-0, and Houston Markham is there. And 1 pitch, 1 out to end the frame. West Virginia back in front through 4 in Omaha. Heck of a first game of the Men's College World Series. Armani Guzman, straight steal of home. First time for anyone here since 2000. Jabe Ruth and Troy with plenty of 2-out offense coming alive for the Trojans in this meeting between a couple of first-time Omaha teams in program history. And Sean Smith, another first pitch home run. 4th time he's done that this season. So our game track about Troy's 2-out offense again, and then both starters out of this game, and the bullpens and the best bullpen arms into this game. Jimmy Janicki leads off for Troy. And if you're just joining us, he's projected next year, right now, by our Kylie McDaniel as a top 10 pick from Downers Grove, Illinois. Sun Belt Player of the Year. Let's check in with Taylor.
Well, you said he's from Illinois. He told me he fell in love with the game of baseball because he's a huge Chicago Cubs fan. Went to Wrigley Field so many times throughout his childhood. He said, I've been probably 50-plus games. You see these photos versus a toddler then in middle school. He has a dog named Rizzo after Anthony Rizzo and another one named Addison after Addison Russell. Now, the joke amongst Troy is that in order to play here, you actually have to be a Chicago Cub fan because Ben Wolgamott, associate head coach, and Skylar Meade love all Chicago sports. So if you like the Bears, if you like Cubs, you might just get recruited to Troy.
So I think that means you have to be a Bears fan, a Cubs fan. That means you have to be a Taylor McGregor fan, too.
That means the next dog might be named Taylor.
Yeah.
Love it. I mean, look, this is what baseball is all about. The picture right there, eating the hot dog, he had me there.
He was crushing that hot dog.
Oh, man, it
didn't have a chance. It had no chance.
It was loaded, too.
Steve Meyer follows against Ian Korn. Meyer ground out to second and a sac fly to left. So you might wonder, how does someone as good as Jimmy Janicki decide on going south? Well, originally his heart was set on playing football. Said he liked it a lot more than baseball. Played linebacker, loved hitting people and playing physically, and had an offer from Illinois to play football. Meyer lines out to second at Gavin Kelly with Janicki back to the bag. But then Skylar Meade had located Jimmy Janicki and said Troy was interested. Jimmy Janicki says, I had no idea where Troy was. Troy, Alabama. He figured it out, looked it up, and he saw they actually got great baseball history. He said, I would love to play baseball in the South. And went down south, and he's been a great player for 2 years. He's aboard with one out for a Troy native, and Drew Nelson had an RBI single, scorched at 107 off his bat last time in the third.
And that's the pitch for Ian Korn right there. Fastball's a good one, low, and he'll bump into the mid-90s from time to time, but his best pitch is that breaking ball.
Well, let's get to know Troy. Troy is less than an hour southeast of the capital, Montgomery. It's a city of about 18,000. Well, here in Omaha, Charles Schwab Field seats more than 24,000.
If they all came, we would still have room for extra.
Question is, where would you sit them?
And they all came for Super Regionals last weekend. They had to roll in temporary bleachers. Swan Karam's away from Matt Gravlin, and Jimmy Janicki moves up into scoring position.
Again, really good read by the base runner this time. Janicki at first base, sees ball get away, and doesn't hesitate. You don't have to be fast to be a good runner. Caught in between right there. That one should have been just backhanded.
Yeah, almost like he got crossed up a little bit, but I don't think he did.
Ooh, there's a nasty back foot sword on Nelson, and Korn's got a punch out.
That's that breaking ball we're talking about right there by Ian Korn. And his is as good as anybody. You talk about swing and miss, well, he's got it. And watch this breaking ball. In the zone a long time, just disappeared. And that's what you call swords up right there, folks.
Oh, he missed barrel by a lot there, huh?
You can measure that now.
Please. Let's not measure.
We call this agitation.
Who cares if you swing and miss? I don't care if you swing and miss by an inch or by 3 feet. I don't care.
And if you had top of the fifth for when Ben McDonald gets a little itchy, there you go.
Oh man, I feel so good right now.
Oh, for too long we're going to have, okay, his swing and misses by 3 inches or less, and his swing and misses by 3 inches or more.
I'm just trying to get your lenses fogged up.
You're going to make my lenses pop out is what you're going to do.
Sean Darnell sharply, backhand stab, Brody Kresser, flip, Korn covers. We'll let Ben de-ice the goggles Coming up tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, Ole Miss making the trek over from the hotel. Champs last time they were here. They get Carolina. CAA Men's College World Series presented by Capital One. Take this little flight in with us from out beyond right field, Eduardo's favorite camera, right into Charles Schwab Field, where West Virginia has scored in each of its first 4 innings. That's the second longest streak for any team making its debut at the Men's College World Series.
I have a lot of favorite cameras here. A lot. That's one of them, though.
There's another one for you.
How many cameras do we have?
40 plus, I'm told.
40 plus?
Wait, I wasn't told that. I was told 40-ish.
That's close enough.
Plus-ish. Both are correct.
You only swung and missed by an inch on that one. Very good.
And that
but
matters.
You're still out.
I'm still out.
3, 4, and 5 for West Virginia, starting with Paul Schoenfeld. Strikeout looking, and then a ground out to short. Both of those against the starting pitcher for Troy, Benjamin Stubbs. This is now Zach Crotchfeld, who on one pitch got the final out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Crotchfeld started his career at Auburn for 2 years. He actually had a very nice freshman season for them 3 years ago. Then last year at Texas Tech, struggled in about 20 innings of work. And this year at Troy, it's been the best season of his career. 2-1. Schoenfeld hammers one foul, 2-2.
How about the advanced scouting? When ahead in the count, Troy automatically moved the shortstop to the pull side. Almost like calling an audible. They knew what the count was, 2-1. They know what the hitter likes to tend to do when ahead in the count.
Yeah, fastball up and in, you get to that pitch, you got to think something off speed down the way here.
Yeah.
If you're reading bats.
Instead that hung, but Schoenfeld pops it up right side. And Sean Darnell, one away in the 5th, and Sean Smith coming up. He's already got 2 knocks, including this home run in the 3rd.
You talk about wasting no time. Very first pitch he saw, sitting on the fastball, and Andy, you talked about it, catching it out in front, and that's how you catch it out in front. Only 26-degree launch angle, and look off the bat, 109, and it quickly traveled 391 feet.
And that creates 3 left turns. Coming back now, let's see how he makes the adjustment here. Let's see how Troy makes the adjustment on the first pitch.
Skylar Meade had said that he feels like he created a problem for Benjamin Stubbs with the first pitch, so this time they go first pitch off speed.
And damage has been done against the fastball of Crotchfeld. 3-0-2 coming into this game.
This is pumped down the line and left, but it's hooked foul.
Coming in at 85 miles per hour. getting him out in front.
Close your ears, Ben. 107 the exit velocity on the foul ball.
Might want to get it down in the zone a little bit.
1-2 on Sean Smith.
And this is where he becomes nasty. That curveball has to be now thrown to the back foot in the dirt. 0-61 coming into this game. Off that pitch. Lethal with 2 strikes.
Skylar Meade told us Crutchfield didn't give up a hit on the curveball until May. Instead, he stuck with the heater.
Yeah. He sped him up a little bit. 95, show it to him, not in the zone. A protective swing right there.
Zach Crutchfield ready. With the 1-2. Hit sharply towards short on a hop at Aaron Piasecki. High throw, look out. And Sean Smith's aboard on the throwing error. Piasecki has had struggles in his career defensively at short, but he had been really good the last few weeks.
Yeah, but once he catches this, he has enough time. But watch what he does after. Transfers away from the body, then starts thinking about it. He does not follow the throw as he's down in the zone. He has to be able to continue to use his legs to keep the ball down.
You see how upright?
Up.
Look how upright he is. And when you get upright as a middle infielder, you tend to spray the ball. And when you talk about infield coaches and the way they teach, they want to keep you in an athletic position. They want the legs bent. They want the momentum moving toward the bag you're throwing to. And he just kind of stood straight up. And when you do that, the throw can get sideways.
Matt Gravelin just out of the reach of Piasecki into center. 2 on for West Virginia. Could it have anything to do, guys, your shortstop releasing the ball with when your first baseman gets to the bag? Watch this.
No.
No?
The answer is no.
Okay.
He's not even looking over there. He's there in plenty of time. By the time he releases the ball, Cable's there.
Yeah,
this one's all about footwork and coming up.
If your guy's not there, you're trying to throw the ball straight over the top of the bag, and you're trusting that he's going to get there.
Played with Scott Rowland, Hall of Famer, St. Louis, and he would try to beat you to the bag with the throw. Just throw it over the bag. So you knew you had to hustle and get there.
Hey, NBA Finals Game 5. Knicks and Spurs, Saturday, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. NBA tip-offs at 8. You can watch it live or stream it anytime on the ESPN app.
Man, what happened to the Spurs the other night? Man, they were up by 100, it felt like, and somehow lost the game. And I can hear Charles Barkley now. That was terrible.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's just terrible.
That guy's a knucklehead. Yeah, it was not 100, it was 29 at one point before the historic comeback. A little reset for Zach Crutchfield after the Skylar Meade visit against Matt Einish, who has walked, scored, and grounded out to first. Nothing at 2.
Think about how the first run for West Virginia scored on an infield error. They're trying to capitalize again. You cannot make mistakes with any team in the College World Series. There's a reason they're here. They capitalize on all those mistakes, and they see blood, they go after it.
Smith dancing. That's poked foul by Einish.
I always thought it was a lot easier to steal third with a left-handed pitcher, but you have to be careful here because it's left on left. Easy throwing lane. To be able to get the runner out at third, you have to be 100% sure if you get a great jump to go.
Einish pops it up in foul ground. It's spacious here. Now that's spacious for Josh Pine. I think one of the things with West Virginia's offense they've been really hard to put away, it feels like, for Troy's pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to North Carolina and some other teams that we've seen how they spread out with their two-strike approach, you know. And again, it's understanding who you are and what you do best. And when they've gotten themselves in two-strike counts, they've just kind of spread out and just tried to find the barrel.
Just off. And again, this is a guy in Einish who is really disciplined. It's the second lowest chase rate, as we said, in the entire Big 12. Second lowest swing and miss rate. So when he swings, he rarely comes up empty.
A lot of fastballs by Crotchfeld. I mean, the breaking ball's supposed to be good, and it feels like if he gets a good breaking ball down the way, he might get that swing and a miss. But he's been heavy on the fastball.
You just went elevated heater.
And it sets up the breaking ball behind it.
Crotchfeld this year left on left. He's about 3/4 of the time throwing his fastball. There's the breaking ball, but it doesn't fool Einish.
Yep. It's staying up. That pitch is designed to be on the ground, and sometimes it's about letting him know, pointing out in front where you want that pitch.
I mean, for me, he's got two choices. I love a fastball in, if you can shove a fastball two-seamer on the inside part of the plate here, or the breaking ball's got to be down and away.
1-2. Einish spoils it.
But how many pitchers at the college level, lefty, can get that fastball in with 2 strikes?
Not many. And that's why if you're hitting, I think you try to take it away. But also, I don't understand why we don't work on that more to be able to use both sides of the plate.
9th pitch of the at-bat. Einish strikes out on 97. Crotchfeld reaches back for a little extra.
Yeah, he just kept leaning on that 4-seam fastball, kind of up and away, and finally he gets the pitch that he wants in a swing and a miss. Watch this 4-seam fastball, just all you got to the outside edge. Well, Crotchfeld's got a good arm, man. A really good arm from the left side. That's at 96 now.
Yeah, that's real.
And it's got some carry, too. It looks like it's got a little bit of carry through the zone.
Skylar Meade told us today he thinks Zach Crotchfeld will pitch in the major leagues. 2 on, 2 out now. Bottom 5 for Brody Kresser. Kresser in the 7th spot, singled and scored in the 2nd, and then he flew out to right in the 4th. He's from Jessup, Iowa. They want him in the lineup. They need him in the lineup. Pops this one up into right center field. Houston mark him there. And Zach Crotchfeld does his job. He leaves 2 in the 5th. NCAA tournament is Troy's 8-hitter DH Jay Bora from Pike Road, Alabama. Didn't do a whole lot in the regular season and had lost his starting spot early. Well, he was the most outstanding player at the Gainesville Regional, and he has been mashing with a half dozen home runs in this NCAA tournament.
Well, this has been the inning for Troy in the NCAA tournament. 28 runs they have scored in the 6th inning, and that leads this College World Series field.
And he's been a big part of it. Right here in the 6th inning, the way that their lineup is designed, you cannot fall asleep with the power.
Let's check in with Taylor.
It's interesting watching him in the dugout because he's a DH. A lot of guys struggle with that role because they don't know how to stay mentally engaged and in a way that they're not able to perform and do some defense. So I thought it was interesting. He is constantly moving, really watching, talking to guys. He's also been using the towels to try to stay cool, but constantly moving and constantly trying to stay engaged.
Because he's also told us that the mental side of it's been so big for him, and now you got to factor in the DH component. 1-1 for Ian Korn.
It's one of the most difficult things to do in sports, especially in baseball, is to sit around if it's for 25, 30 minutes until your next opportunity. And how do you turn the page if you make it out in your first at bat and then in your second? Staying engaged the entire time.
Pops this one up, and you can hear Jabe Root's frustration. Tyrus Hall there for the first out in the 6th inning in this one-run game to start the Men's College World Series. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. You can stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more info, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. So one out, base is empty, and Houston Markham in the 9th spot, 1 for 2 with a single. He scorched his first time. Gonna want to watch the hands of Houston Markham on the bat. He was sort of sped up earlier this season. They said they needed him to relax, so they closed off his stance a little bit. But then Skylar Meade said to us they relaxed Markham's hands with what he called the flutter.
The flutter. You saw a lot of that in the 70s. Right there. Trying to keep it loose. That way you can generate a little bit more bat speed and not be too stiff, especially on pitches on the inner half.
Eddie, why do hitters close off? Is it because maybe they were opening up a little bit too much, a little bit too quickly, and they close off to try to stay in more of a neutral position? What's the idea of closing off like that?
Well, with the bottom half you're talking about?
Well, yeah, bottom half and the front. I mean, his shoulders pulled in a little bit too. Like he's totally closed off front, top half and bottom half.
But look how quick he is. We saw the foul ball on the other one. Those hands move really fast through the zone. So he's trying to stay up the middle. It's almost like a golfer that wants to be able to close off its stance so he can hit it straight instead of always hooking it as much.
Again beaten into the ground at Gavin Kelly. 2 down. Very nice job, guys, from Ian Korn. Came on in the 3rd. He's issued a couple of walks, but otherwise it's been tidy work from one of their best arms. First team Big 12.
Yeah, we talked about it. His 23rd appearance. He does have 3 starts under his belt, but when he comes in the game, he can give you a lot of length. I mean, he's worked 70 1/3 coming in just those 22 appearances.
Back to the top, Aaron Piasecki 0 for 3.
And that's why these relievers and all these teams have them. There's a couple of guys that can come in and not give you 1 inning or 2. They can give you 3 or 4. They can give you some bulk.
Korn spent the previous 4 years at Seton Hill, Division II. And last year, Korn was the D2 National Pitcher of the Year. It was 80+ innings and a 1.81 ERA. 1-2 on Piasecki. And Ian Korn told us the goal was to come here and make it to Omaha, joining this program. Said in my old school we'd get 100 parents and girlfriends. And now he's here at the greatest show on dirt. 1-2. Piasecki in the air, right center. Schoenfeld to his left. Hitting over. More good work from Ian Korn. 1-2-3. Armani Guzman 2 up. 3rd. He's already stolen home in this game for West Virginia. Up a run. One-run game into the bottom of the 6th inning on day 1 in game 1 at the Men's College World Series. Two programs that had never previously been here before, Troy and West Virginia. West Virginia, the number 16 national seed, had rousing scenes in Morgantown the last few weeks to get here. And then Troy, mid-major power who's got a ton of high-end talent, a 3 seed in a regional and one of the last 4 teams in. Ben Lumsden leads off against Zach Crotchfeld of Troy.
Keep an eye on the velocity. 97 last inning, 93 that last pitch.
And 97, the best bolt of the year for Crotchfeld. He's been up there a few times this season. There's a 4. And this is 4-pitch walk to the 8-man.
And that's the first walk that Crotchfeld has given up. And both walks previous that were given up by Benjamin Stubbs scored. West Virginia being able to take advantage of the errors, the walks, and it starts all over again here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
And Crotchfeld for the season has been the best strike thrower on Skylar Meade's staff. 65% of Crotchfeld's pitches coming in have been strikes. Now the 9-man Tyrus Hall, who had one of those walks you mentioned in the 4th. First pitch swinging, a bolt out to center, and Steve Meyer circles for the first out. Lumsden bluffs, and he's back. How's it going to play here, you guys think, weather-wise, over this week and a half in Omaha?
I'll tell you what, I like the start of it. I love the fact, looking in the low 80s, wind blowing out.
It's weird. The wind has actually turned around and starting to blow a little bit in, because it was blowing out pretty hard about an hour ago, and now it's starting to kind of blow in from right center field.
Oh, flag got tangled up out there. You're right.
If you're new to this, it's often a prevailing wind blowing in from right field to make this a pitcher's park. So back to the top for West Virginia in the electrifying Armani Guzman, who had one of the signature moments of this entire NCAA tournament in the regionals a few weeks ago on that Monday game 7. He had the walk-off base hit to move on to a super in the 10th inning against Kentucky. And then he was singing Country Roads with about 4,000 of his friends while he was on a headset after the game.
Yeah, really emotional. That was fun with his mom right there in the background over the dugout.
Guzman went around. Guzman's mother, he says, kind of embarrasses him because she's always leading the cheers in the crowd when she's at games.
What do you expect from a Dominican mom, man? That's the Latina moms. Been there. I get it.
His mother, Clara.
Clarita, Clarita.
Perfect from Crotchfeld with 95.
Well, is there any doubt what side of the plate Crotchfeld loves? And he loves the glove side. And that's where he seems to work with most of those fastballs. And they're high velocity. Watch Janicki just gently rock to the outside part, and you can't throw a fastball any better than that right there.
Interesting, he's gone to it, and it's been electric today. It's worked for him. A pitch that has been hit during the regular season. Not using a lot of the curveball.
Well, here's Gavin Kelly, who saw Crotchfeld in the 4th and went first pitch swinging on a fly out to right. First pitch swinging here on the heater.
I saw in one of our notes, so D1 hitters on all fastballs are hitting 300 overall on the year, but when it gets to 95 and above, they're only hitting 240.
Pitcher velo.
Yes, on pitcher velo. So velo is a very important part of this. So the average D1 fastball gets hit at 300, which is a very high average, but when you can tick it up 95 and above, it goes all the way down to 240.
Kelly can't catch up to 95.
And that's where we are in our game, both at the big league level and at the collegiate level, and really at the high school level too, is trying to create velo, because velo gives you swing and miss.
Zach Crotchfeld's 0-2 to Gavin Kelly. Just up and away.
That's close.
I love that pitch, 0-2. I hate to see pitchers get 0-2 or 1-2 and just waste a pitch where it's nowhere near the strike zone. I want you to be good enough with your command to really make the hitter make a decision on whether he wants to swing.
One, two. Off the edge. Kelly is far and away the best bat by the numbers that West Virginia has. Top 5 in the Big 12 in OPS. Some say he's a candidate to go first overall next year. Our Kiley McDaniel says top 15 in his eyes. 1 on, 2 out, 2-2. Kelly gets jammed and he flares it into right. Houston Markham in, and Zach Crotchfeld out. We go to the 7th in Omaha, a tight 1-run game. Still to come tonight, 7 Eastern, ESPN, Ole Miss and North Carolina. North Carolina's been here a dozen times and still chasing that first title at the Men's College World Series. Winner of this one gets the winner of that one. Loser of this one gets the loser of that one on Sunday afternoon. And we go to the 7th. Troy's got 2, 3, and 4, starting with Josh Pine against Ian Korn, who's done great work since he came on in the 3rd.
Yeah, both of our relievers, Crotchfeld and Korn, have done their thing since coming in from the bullpens. Ian Korn's got a nice little cutter, too. He uses that cutter a lot. He'll throw it inside to the lefties, away from righties. Got the curveball and a good fastball to go with it.
He's the best strike thrower on West Virginia's staff. And he's ahead in the count, 1-2 on Josh Pine. Little trickler up the line, foul. Ian Korn had pro ball opportunities after last year's senior season at Division II Seton Hill, but he joined West Virginia, who's had so much success the last few years with Division II pitchers. 2 years ago, they had a little 5'8" bulldog on the mound named Derek Clark, and last year they had Griffin Kern. They get D2 guys, and they got first rounders too in this program. End of the bat towards second, and one of those guys, Gavin Kelly, one away. Taylor.
Well, I can tell you there is no one more excited about West Virginia being here at the College World Series than J.J. Weatherholt, current second baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals and one of the all-time great Mountaineers. And you might be wondering what's going on with the sunglasses. These were actually a gift from J.J. to the entire team. He wanted to celebrate and do something, so he ordered everybody a pair of the sunglasses that I have on. Now, what's cool about them is they're 100% is the brand, but they have the MLB emblem on them. So if you ordered these online, you could not get the MLB emblem. So these are special. They say it inside, they say MLB, and then right here is the emblem. So the guys are super fired up, and I think what's cool is JJ just wants to remind everybody that this is a big family, and West Virginia means so much to him, and he is so invested in making sure that this program continues to be great, guys.
Well, can you get us a pair, Taylor? I mean,
I'm trying to get myself a pair. I actually stole these for a second.
Extended family.
I agree. JJ, if you're watching, which I know you probably are.
Let's go, JJ.
How about it? He's had a phenomenal rookie season with the Cardinals. Well, two big groundouts against the best bats induced by Ian Korn, and now a ball and a strike on the best bat for Troy, Jimmy Janicki, who doubled on a well-struck ball at 105 in the third, and then walked his last time against Korn in the fifth. Hanger roped down the line, foul.
Oh, this guy is absolutely strong. Be able to have the bat where he has it, but as soon as the pitch is released, he is in a strong position, as you see where Kyler McDaniel has him in the top 10 prospects for next year's draft.
Well, look at his legs and the size of his trunks, man. That's where the power comes from.
He hammers this one to left field, and it is gone! And we are tied right on cue.
Exit velocity 111 miles per hour off the bat. That equals with the launch 3 turns around the bases, a high hum at 5, and a landing by the dugout. Their leader, their offensive threat, puts them right back in this game, all tied at 5.
It looked like a hanging breaking ball, too. And it was. Look at it hanging up. And he just kind of goes out and circles it, too, on the outer part of the plate. The body got a little bit out in front, but, boy, he kept those hands back, and he found the barrel.
I don't care about the body getting out in front. You see how stable it is right there.
He hit that
about that barrel.
That firm front side, and when he did, he just threw his hands at it and the barrel at it, and that would be home run number 20 on the year and RBI number 86 for Janicki.
That's easy pop. Easy pop right there.
Whew. You said 111, and how about 430 feet for number 20 for Jimmy Janicki. Steve Meyer pops it up behind home plate, and Matt Gravlin maintains his footing. We're tied.
I'm going to steal a line from my partner here to my right. He might miss it by a lot, but when he hits it over the fence, just let it go over the 335 side, and he did. We're tied. We're going to the bottom half of the 7th.
his name anymore. Remember it, Jimmy Janicki.
That's impressive, man. That is big time. Kid's going to be an early first rounder next year. And when you come to Omaha, you need your stars to show up. And boy, he has shown up in a big way. 4 at-bats for Janicki. He's been on base 3 out of 4 times. And a couple of extra base hits, including his 20th long ball of the year.
So we're tied, and we go to the bottom of the 7th at 5-all. 3, 4, and 5. Paul Schoenfeld, hard hit, but right at Blake Cavell. 1 away.
That's exactly what you need as well. Tie the ball game up. Now it's about pitching and defense. Keeping it there, allowing the offense to take over.
Both stoppers into the game, Zach Crotchfeld and Ian Korn. And Crotchfeld now faces maybe the guy who's had the best at bats, the most comfortable looking swings, would you say, for West Virginia, and Sean Smith?
Yeah. Hit his 10th home run back in the 3rd inning. You talk about fill up a batter's box. He does that.
From Moss Point, Mississippi, Steve Saban's told us this morning. Southern country, humble,
strong,
and a big old teddy bear. He's got to be careful. You homer again, you might need to do an interview. And Steve Saban's told us Sean Smith he doesn't love the post-game interview.
I'll tell you this, though. He's no teddy bear when he's at the plate.
No, when he gets it, it's a collision at home plate is what it is.
The Georgia Southern transfer. Big cut there on 93, and it's 1-2.
Looks like a former teammate of yours at LSU at the plate.
Lyle Mouton? Or Albert Bell?
I went Albert Bell.
Yeah, either one. He's got a little Lyle Mouton in him, too.
Lyle's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
1-2. Up and in, nearly hit Sean Smith.
Was it Joey Bell, though, in LSU?
Oh, yeah.
Joey Bell.
Better known as Albert now. I'm sure he's watching. He's a big College World Series fan.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Crotchfeld deals. And this one he did not make contact with, and Janicki completes the strikeout. 2 down. For the latest news, insight, and in-depth analysis from the 26th Men's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all NCAA championships. That's Owen Hull, the center fielder who bats top 3 in the lineup for Scott Forbes' North Carolina team.
The Heels in the house, going up against Ole Miss. Ole Miss making their 7th appearance here at the College World Series. Last time Ole Miss was here back in 2022 when they won their national title.
Two outs, bases empty, and this is Matt Gravlin, Ohio State transfer, catcher in the 5 spot. 2 punch outs and a pull side single. Nothing at 2. Boy, it is so many fastballs from Zach Crotchfeld.
Yeah, I mean, on the year, he throws right at 70% fastballs. I mean, that's his pitch, and he's got a good one, too. Boy, he had a big strikeout against Sean Smith on a good changeup, though. So every now and then, he'll put a little wrinkle in it.
Zach Crotchfeld was once a big-time high school prospect. Told you, he went to Auburn for a couple years, then Texas Tech, and now fulfilling all the promise with Troy. 1-2.
Yes,
Strike 3
sir.
called with 94 painted.
That's what you call a little paint piece right there from Crotchfeld. Watch where Janicki sets up the catcher for Troy. Just rocks to the outside part of the plate. A little 2-seamer. Knock a little paint off the outside corner. Troy is off the field, folks, so we got a ball game for you. We are all square.
Men's College World Series presented by Capital One. Phenomenal ball game to get it started with the 8 teams left standing playing college baseball. 8th inning on the way, 5-5 the score between a couple first-time programs in Omaha. 6, 7, and 8 for Troy. Starts with Drew Nelson against Ian Korn, the first-team Big 12 reliever for West Virginia. Nelson an RBI single back in the 3rd. And he's down 0-2 against Korn.
That RBI single with 2 strikes. Got on top of the plate. Was able to deliver it the other way.
On the ground left side to the 3rd baseman Tyrus Hall. Wow. Not in time. Hall didn't get rid of it quickly enough to get Drew Nelson, who's on to start the 8th.
Tell you what, Drew Nelson only 5 stolen bases on the year. Make it 6 with the one he's got today, but he got down the line right here. And Tyrus Hall just didn't recognize the speed of Drew Nelson.
The great Don Zimmer would say, once you hit the ball, your best ability is just to run hard. It doesn't take much, and that's exactly what Nelson did. Put the ball in play, didn't even look if the play was being made. He just beelined it straight to first base. All hustle.
Hustle single. We always talk about hustle doubles, but that's getting out of the box right there.
See where he steps on the bag, right on the front part of the bag, exactly how you're supposed to do it.
What, if anything, could Tyrus Hall have done differently at 3rd?
Just get rid of it a little quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, he just took maybe a couple of extra steps that he didn't need to take.
Takes that step back, tries to get the hop to the side, but count the steps. 1, 2, 3, skip 4, 5 before he lets it go.
Yep.
Just not knowing the base runner?
Mostly, yes.
Infielders have the internal clock we hear about all the time, but here you cannot assume.
Boy, and that could be massive in this game. Here's Sean Darnell, who's doubled twice, squares here and gets it down back at Korn, who handles it. Sack successful. Nelson to 2nd, in scoring position with 1 away.
Really good execution there, moving up on the plate, deadening the baseball. Only 1 play, sacrificing yourself to get the go-ahead run to second base.
For maybe the hottest hitter in the sport, Jay Boroff.
And this is where Troy has been outstanding today. Runners in scoring position, they are 4 for 8. West Virginia just 1 for 8 in that department.
First pitch up high to Boroff, who only got this opportunity late in the season, right around May 10th, because of a couple injuries. Jimmy Janicki, the starting catcher, had tweaked his groin. The number 2 catcher, really talented freshman, Caden Reeves, got hit with a breaking ball and was out with a concussion. And then the number 3 catcher, Cole Garner, had shoulder surgery. So that's how Jabe Ruth was born. And he told us, you never wish that on anyone. But he said, I had 0 chance of getting into the lineup unless something like that happened. It left an opportunity for me, and he said he's so thankful he made a run with it.
That's why you work while you wait. And some kids get bad attitudes because they can't get in the game, but you continue to work because you never know. You just never know when your number's going to be called.
How about this timeout? Last time there was a timeout, they were able to slow down the hitter, and this is a really good timeout as well. A pitch that was up and in, not a lot of break, and he's trying to swing for the fences. He's strong enough, he doesn't have to try to swing for the fences. Just look for a pitch out front, down the middle, and be disciplined.
1-1. Fouled away 1 and 2. And he'll do that. He'll take some massive cuts, his teammates were telling us yesterday.
Thing is, he doesn't even have to barrel it to hit it out of the ballpark. His wrists are so strong, his forearms.
Ian Korn's 1-2. Popped up foul. Skylar Meade was telling us this morning that approach and recognizing pitches has been a huge part of the story with Jay Boroff. He just kind of mentally locked back in, had confidence, and got more discipline in the box.
Well, staying away. Everything is away. Troy was a pretty average team this year. You look at runners in scoring position, they hit 283 as a team this year. That was 172 out of 303 Division I teams, but well over 300 in NCAA tournament. That's why the tick up in offense. And they have shined today, 4 for 8 in these moments.
First base open. He does not have to throw a fastball here. That's the pitch he crushes.
Korn's been kind of leaning on that little cutter of his. He likes it just off the outside edge.
3-2. Strike 3 called. Wow, top of the zone for out number 2.
Little front door breaking ball right there for the strikeout. Let's take a look at this pitch sequence from Ian Korn to Boroff. So first pitch he started with an elevated fastball. So ball 1. Then like a little backup cutter, so 1-1. Another backup cutter elevated, gets away with that one. Then he gets it where he wants, a little cutter on the outside part of the plate. There's another one, so kind of staying to the outside part, a third cutter. And then finally that big curveball that starts on the front door.
And now Houston Markham bounces it short. Matt Einish on the run. Got him to end the inning. And Ian Korn's out of trouble in the 8th.
That's an excellent play defensively coming in. You know you have to hurry with Markham's speed. And this is a do-or-die type play. No other way of making it except this way. Bang, bang at first, getting out of the inning.
Men's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Well, it's so important to win the first game here in Omaha. The past 44 College World Series, only 4 teams have lost their first game and gone on to win the national title. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-5 our score. 6, 7, and 8 for West Virginia, starting with Matt Einish, who pulls one into right field, and the leadoff man is on for West Virginia.
You make a great play to end the top half of the 8th inning. You lead off, first pitch, you get on base.
That's what you call hunting a heater right there. That wasn't even a strike. That ball looked like it was above the top of the zone. But Einish does a good job of just going up top shelf and just flattening out his swing. Watch how flat this swing is. Just matches the plane of the ball on a pitch that's not even close to being a strike. And a good start for West Virginia here in the bottom of the 8th.
And Brody Kresser on the ground, left field, base hit. First 2 on promptly for the Mountaineers in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Josh Payne playing in, anticipating the bunt. And again, first pitch by West Virginia, being aggressive this inning. Now you're in a bunting situation.
Well, it's like we talked about. Crotchfeld throws 70% fastballs, right? That's what he does. And so West Virginia just came up and they just hunt the first pitch fastball in both of these at-bats. They got a chance here to make a little bit of noise. Now, Lumsden's already got one sacrifice bunt today. You would think he's going to put another one down.
Hey, Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final is in Vegas. Hurricanes and Golden Knights. That's Sunday, 8 Eastern on ABC. Also on the ESPN app. Carolina trying to close it out and win the Cup. So certainly expecting bunt here from Lumsden. We both agree? We all agree?
100%.
Now, this conversation is if the corners do crash in and he sees an opportunity up the middle where the second baseman vacates and so does the shortstop, then take your swing.
And we'll see how Troy plays this. There's a lot of things they could do. They could crash the first baseman really hard and get right in the face and try to get the lead out over at third. They could put the wheel play on, have everybody moving. But we may see an inside move to second base right here just to see if the hitter will kind of tip off what he's going to do.
And Lumsden did tip off early when he came up with that sac bunt you guys mentioned. His first time back in the second.
Because a lot of times the defense will put a pickoff play on just to see if the hitter will tip his cap to kind of what he's doing and then put a play on.
This is where I also want my outfielders a little bit shallow. Coming in just anticipating any overthrow, especially with so much foul territory here in this ballpark.
5-5 in the 8th. Lumsden squares, pops it up, 0-1. Well, these immediate singles came off Crotchfeld, who in his first 4 appearances in the NCAA tournament has posted 10 1/3 scoreless.
I'm just surprised that Cavill at first base is not being more aggressive and trying to get in the face just in case there's a bunt to that side.
It's toward the third base side. Crotchfeld spins and Cavill back to the bag. Lumsden does it again. Second and third, West Virginia.
There you go.
Now decision making happening. Defensively, you have to be anticipating if there's going to be a squeeze or not. At the same time, first pitch, they've been aggressive this inning, swinging the bat. Infield has to play in now with the go-ahead run at third. First base is open. You do not have to throw a strike.
And Skylar Meade comes out for a visit. You saw Noah Thigpen up in the bullpen. Thigpen's a hard-throwing right-hander. You got a righty here in Tyrus Hall, but then a lefty in Armani Guzman on deck. Thigpen just recently has found his form as a closer. Moved to the bullpen. All of a sudden, out of the blue, started throwing 97 again.
When the infield comes in, they're telling the pitcher one thing. We want you to try to create a ground ball. That's why we're coming in. Now, once you get to 2 strikes, as a pitcher, you're thinking one thing. How can I get a swing and miss and a strikeout? But you got to get there first. So the first 2 pitches for Crotchfeld has got to be something down that he can maybe create a ground ball with his infield being in.
Crotchfeld has not used that curveball, that swing and miss curveball a lot this afternoon.
Infield in. First pitch swinging for Tyrus Hall. Does have the 7 bunts this year for West Virginia.
And if you're Hall here, you're not trying to do too much. You're just trying to find the barrel if you can.
His bat's been hot the last few weekends. Bouncer over Cavill into right field. Inish scores. Kresser to the plate. The Mountaineers have the lead.
How about that approach? We talked about not trying to do too much. The only thing he did was let that thing travel and just tried to find the barrel. An old Baltimore chop pays off with a 2 RBI single by Tyrus Hall.
Boy, you're having fun with that Baltimore chop, huh? But I'll tell you this, though. This is a day game hit here in Omaha.
Yeah.
Sun's baking in the front part of the plate. Base hit right over the drawn-in infield. 4 runs driven in from the 9th spot.
I just love the approach. That's a veteran approach of just understanding the situation and not trying to be too big in the moment. Like, let me just find the barrel and see what happens.
And listen to this place supporting West Virginia. I mean, man, did they show up here in Omaha, and they're letting the Mountaineers hear it.
I love exit velocity too, like you guys do. I love exit velocity, but sometimes it just pays off.
We're going to have a review on the pickoff attempt from Zach Crotchfeld trying to get Tyrus Hall. We got UmpCam for situations like this.
Oh, that is close.
Oh, he might be out right there.
Yeah, there might not be contact with that right hand on the bag from Tyrus Hall.
I think he gets him.
Well, let's bring in our rules expert, Scott Klein. So happy to have him with us. He's umpired here 4 times before at the Men's College World Series. Scott, what do you got?
Guys, this time, I talked about that bend of the glove earlier. We've got it this time, I believe, before the runner's hand is on the base. I remember the first time that I came here, they told me, they said, hey, some of these cameras go around the base 360 degrees, and the umpire can't do that. So this is a tough one that they're probably going to have to overturn.
Call on the field safe, but yeah, is that going to get overturned?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's out to me. Is there enough?
I think there is.
To overturn that?
I believe there is.
I agree.
Tell you what, Scott Klein comes up with the answers right away. We might have to put him in the replay booth.
He's done this before.
It's a lot easier up here.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out, and Troy has 2 challenges remaining.
If you're new to college baseball, you get 2 challenges. You keep them if you're successful. Skylar Meade successful, and that's a big second out.
It's a huge second out.
Troy will have the top of the order in the top of the 9th, trying to keep the margin at 2. So the base is empty for Armani Guzman. There's a curveball for a strike. RBI double in the 4th. One. Roller foul, and it's 1-2 on Guzman. On a gorgeous day at Charles Schwab Field to kick off the Men's College World Series. Zach Crotchfeld ready with a 1-2. Guzman stays alive. Boy, for West Virginia, they've been on a sizzling 4-year run as a program that includes 3 straight supers. One of 2 programs in the country the last 3 years to go to a super each year. It's them and North Carolina. They've been knocking on the door. They finally got here, and now they have the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Wow, just missed 2-2. Sean Smith's had a big day. He homered into 3rd.
Let's go!
West Virginia has showed out in Omaha. 2-2. Guzman hooks it foul.
Seen a little bit of everything. We've seen the power of Smith. We've seen the speed of Guzman. Taking third and then stealing home on a straight steal. And then the clutchness of the 9-hole hitter. And Tyrus Hall.
So now 3-2, and Gavin Kelly's on deck, the projected first rounder next year. Payoff pitch, cut and a miss. Crotchfeld ends the inning, but Tyrus Hall does it again. Batting in the 9th spot, he has 10 RBIs in his last 3 games. West Virginia is 3 outs away from starting its first trip with a win. First of 2 games today here in Omaha, this baseball haven in America's heartland. Top 9, Troy's down by 2 now after Tyrus Hall came through for West Virginia, and Troy sends up the top of its order against Ian Corner, who's been fabulous. Aaron Piasecki is 0 for 4 out of the leadoff spot, and he faces Corn, who's gone 5 1/3. The longest relief outing for Ian Corn this season. Did have a 6-inning start at the end of the regular season against TCU, where he went 100 pitches. Right now you see he had 70 pitches in this one for the 5th-year senior D2 transfer. Piasecki in the air, right field. Guzman goes back onto the track with room for the first down in 9th inning.
I'll tell you what, first couple innings of this ball game, that ball might have been in the stands. Wind is howling now in, and it's changed the way that the ball flies that way.
And as a pitcher, when you turn around and you see the flags, because pitchers are always checking the flag, it makes you want to be a little more aggressive in the zone when you see it blowing in like it is. It looked like he caught that ball in the barrel pretty good.
Could hear it for sure. 100 miles an hour off the bat. And now Josh Pine takes strike 1.
Big first out.
You want to get it to Jimmy Janicki if you can in the cleanup spot. This is Pine, the Indiana transfer, and he's down 0-2.
I'll tell you what, lineup construction, this is one of the big reasons why the best hitter in the lineup goes in the 2 spot. Because of moments like this, you don't want that 4-hole hitter not to come up at the plate. That's why you've seen the evolution throughout the years now of seeing that 2-hole hitter be the most powerful, best, consistent hitter.
0-2. Swing and a miss, and West Virginia's 1 out away.
Hey now, spin him if you got him, and Ian Corn is spinning that breaking ball right now. 4 strikeout of the day for him, and folks, he is feeling it. Boy, you get ahead and look, and that's a perfect look at a good break ball. Starts it in the perfect spot over the plate and just works it down and away.
Ian Corn's ready to face Blake Cavill. Senior star against senior star. Cavill 1 for 4. Had a scorched single up the middle in the third, but against Corn, a fly out to center and a ground out to first.
.439 on base percentage coming into this game.
And if you're Ian Corn here, you're not messing around. You got a 2-run lead. There's no way I'm walking this guy. He has to earn his way on.
Cavill has one of the lowest chase rates in the Sun Belt. Skylar Meade says this guy wakes up thinking about how to get a walk. Can he get on for Janicki? 2-1. That's away. 3-1.
I got him taking here full.
And this is when you take your fastball and you throw it right down the heart of the plate. Round ball, round bat, and the hitter's trying to square it up.
That's in. It's ball 4 with the slider. And it brings up Jimmy Janicki, the superstar sophomore who pounded a home run 430 feet his last time in the 7th inning.
Yeah, this is what he did the 7th inning. Got him a hanging breaking ball. Just went out and circled it. The body got out in front before the hands didn't. His 20th long ball of the year. His 86th RBI. 28-degree launch angle. 102 off the bat. It covered 384 feet.
Now Steve Sabins trudges out from the third base West Virginia dugout.
Oh, this is a smart call. He's already seen enough.
You got Dawson Montesa on the left, the righty, and then Ben McDougal, the lefty, on the right.
The advantage would go to Janicki, especially having seen all of his pitches. Maybe give him a different look.
Or do you stick with your 5th-year senior guy? No.
He's making the call.
Janicki has walked and homered in his 2 looks at Corn. Corn departs to a big ovation from his West Virginia fans in Omaha. Jimmy Janicki bats when we come back. Work for Ian Corn. He matches the longest outing of his 1 year with West Virginia. 6 innings out of the bullpen of 1-run ball for now. And Steve Sabins makes the really interesting choice to go to the senior lefty Ben McDougal, who almost redshirted this year due to injury. They brought him back late in the regular season. He came up big in the regional. He doesn't have a save this season.
No, and he's not pitched much at all because of the injury that you talked about. Only making his 11th appearance. 12 and a third is all he has worked so far this year. Does have 12 strikeouts, and he's walked 6. Opponents hitting just 196 off the left-hander, McDougal. You look at his stuff, too. It's a upper 80s, low 90s fastball, a little slider, curveball, and a changeup as well.
Guys, I understand tying run at the plate. That's the important run. But McDougal does not have to give in here. You have 3 left-handed hitters behind Janicki. Do not have to give him a cookie. He's given up 4 home runs, all to right-handed hitters. And Janicki's hit 4 home runs this season against lefties.
Janicki has reverse splits. He's actually better against right-handed pitchers than lefties. First pitch strike grooved in at 90.
I'm talking about right at him at 90 miles an hour with a heater.
Oh, you shouldn't do that again.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
Ben McDougal's 0-1. Janicki cuts through it, nothing in two.
And he elevated it a little bit right there, 90 miles per hour, spin rate at 2,100 plus.
Do you go a little bit higher here?
Just a little bit higher.
Maybe you just climb the ladder, just keep working up.
But stay
you got him in swing mode now.
0-2. Janicki pops it up. A lot of foul ground. This tails toward the railing. And caught by Brody Kresser. West Virginia wins it in its first trip to Omaha.
3 fastballs.
That's why we're sitting up here and we're not making decisions down there. How about that? 3 fastballs, and that last one on 0-2 was a pretty hittable pitch, but he got ahead in the count, was able to expand the zone.
Oh, we started off with a good one, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrus Hall in the 9-hole for West Virginia, 2 for 3. I mean, think about this. West Virginia only had 2 base hits the entire day with runners in scoring position. Tyrus Hall had both of them, drove in 4 out of that 9-hole for West Virginia. That's a nice play to end the ball game right there. So West Virginia wins game 1 here at the College World Series.
6, 7, 8, 9 guys. The bottom of the order scored 5 runs for West Virginia.
And how about Ben McDougal? He told us yesterday, I thought that this team had a chance to get to Omaha. He said that back in the fall. And so, though he was hurt and had a chance to get a medical red shirt and maybe save a season, he told us, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. What a time for your first save of the season. And West Virginia wins the all-important first game here against Troy.
And setting the tone. And more important than anything, it sets it up nicely for them. They'll end up in the night game in 2 nights here in Omaha.
Listen to this. Is this good or what?
John Denver's words travel 980 miles. And time for Capital One's rewarding performance.
And it comes from the 9-hole. 4 runs driven in, all by Tyrus Hall. First ambushing on a changeup, and then using the field the other way to drive in the jugular. 2 runs, putting them ahead by 2, and that's all it took to get West Virginia up.
Tyrus Hall with Taylor.
Thank you. How good is your singing voice?
It's not bad. I've been singing a long time here, so it's getting better. Every win we're singing, so it's getting better.
You're also good with runners in scoring position. You come up twice with runners on and ready to score. What's your mindset when you step into the batter's box in those spots?
Go jump on a heater, be aggressive, get somebody can drive.
You guys are so aggressive on the base paths as you've been all season. How does that impact a game?
It puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and all these guys know that we like to run and we're very aggressive, so it puts a lot of pressure on them.
Ian Korn, huge out of the bullpen for you guys today. What did you see from him as the way he was able to attack?
He's kept his pace and just kept attacking, head down no matter what. Gave up a bomb, but came right back at it.
Thank you. Mike?
Taylor, thank you. Tyrus Hall has been special these last few weekends. What a start for West Virginia in the first game of the Men's College World Series. Coming up next, it's Sports Center with Jay Harris. And at 7 Eastern, Ole Miss and North Carolina. For Taylor McGregor, Eduardo Perez, Ben McDonald, and our entire crew led by Joe McCoy and Billy Proctor, Mike Monaco saying thanks for joining us here in Omaha.